Hi there. You're watching Pop Culture Warrior. This is the way.
Hi there. It's your second favorite DP right here, okay? No, that's Deadpool, you silly little Hufflepuff. Anyways, I'm gonna need you to shut up that pretty little mouth of yours and pay attention because the show's about to start, alright? And, I don't know about you, but I know who's my vote for sexiest ex-soldier turned pop culture show host. Alright, enough foreplay. Let's get on with the show.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio. You're listening.
Hey, everybody, welcome. God, I feel like it's been forever. Let's see if I can still do this. Well, how do I start these things? It's been a minute. Shit. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Oh, wait, I forgot to switch there we go. Hey, everybody. So, welcome one and all. What is today? August 6th. 2024. This is episode 178 of Pop Culture Warrior, the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture so you don't have to. I'm your host, CQ. I'm the Pop Culture Warrior, and joining me tonight for what could be the very last time, we don't know. He is the OG Kid Elf himself, and depending if you're horizontal, he's here, and if you're vertical, he's here. So, ladies and gentlemen, Angry Elf. Let's see, pointing this way and that way.
The backup host. I'm no longer a co-host. I am the backup host.
The official, unofficial co/backup host of Pop Culture Warrior, ladies and gentlemen. Angry
Yes,
Elf.
I've been promoted.
For now, we'll see. We'll see if the
Okay.
people we are as truly democratic as possible here. It's if the people decide.
Hey, last Tuesday there were people in the chats.
There were people hanging out, man. I saw it. I watched for a bit. Hi, everybody. Hey, Charles
Hello.
Charles said he did an outstanding job. Look at that.
Thanks, Charles.
Look at that. He did an outstanding job. Greg says, wait a minute. We didn't vote. Your likes, your comments, your engagement, that's the voting. There's so much has happened over the last few weeks, and I have been bursting at the seams to talk to you guys. Partly, lots of things happened convention wise. Then a lot of things happened personal. I went on vacation. I went scuba diving out in the Bahamas. I was out in the island scuba diving, enjoying the hell out of my time. And then I got back and I got so sick. I caught some bug, and so if my voice sounds a little hoarse, I've been coughing nonstop the last couple days. But I'm here. I'm excited, and I can honestly say I have missed talking to you, Angry Elf, to you, audience members. I have truly there's so much has happened over the last 2 weeks, and I'm just like, oh my God, I have no one to talk to about this. There's so many things. For those of you guys that don't know, Angry Elf has been on with me for about 20 minutes now. Have I not talked off your ear for the last 20 minutes?
I've only been able to get in 10 words.
I've just been bursting at the seams. First and foremost, we did miss, so last week, Angry Elf, by the way, huge props. Thank you so much for stepping in, doing the first ever official, unofficial, bootleg takeover of Pop Culture Warrior. You are a true hero for stepping in. Didn't ask.
Oh, thanks.
Didn't ask, didn't approve, but you did it anyway.
It's better to be ask for forgiveness than ask for permission.
It's great. So that was awesome. The week prior, I was going to do a last show before we went on vacation. I had just the worst internet issues, which is great because this time off, I've rebuilt everything. I've doubled our internet capacity. I'm pushing at 2 gig speeds. I mean, I'm so over the moon because everything is just working flawlessly. And I say that fully expecting everything to break at any time.
Did you say you got a plutonium power source now?
Yes. I'm hooked up to a flux capacitor. It is running 1.21 gigawatts of electrical power. Gigawatts. Billy Bunting, man. Say hey. How you doing, buddy? The actual King Smith out there.
Billy Bunting, last week, he was the unofficial co-host in the chat, saving my butt when I couldn't remember things. Yes. He's a real hero of last week.
You guys are great, man. You guys are great. Greg says, I mean, you didn't cancel this week, so this is truly monumentous. Momentous. We'll say. Hey, Heath, how's it going? All right, so much that we're going to pack into this episode. Real quick, we do have an interview that was supposed to be shown to you 2 weeks ago, but we're going to show it to you today. Tasia Valenza, I mean, she is amazing. She's the voice behind, if you go all the way back to Metal Gear Solid, she was Sniper Wolf. The Batman Arkham series, she is Poison Ivy. And all these incredible characters. We had just the most amazing time. We sat down. It is pre-recorded. We sat down. We just gushed over each other. We had such a great time. And it was so cool because that interview happened just a few short days before my trip to MGS Con. And then I got to spend the whole day with her and the rest of the cast. And let me tell you, let's touch on that right now. The MGS cast, the people that were there, all phenomenal beings. And a lot of them we've had on the show. So we've had Vanessa Marshall. We've had David Hayter. We've had Phil Lamar. We've had, who else? Now Tasia. And then I was able to sit down and really, get to talk to like Christopher Randolph, Doug Stone, Laurie Allen, Paul Eating. He was the colonel in Metal Gear Solid. Scared the living bejesus out of me because I was talking to, I think it was Tasia or Laurie. I was talking to him, and on the other side of the room, he did, if you remember that, the thing where you die in the game, he goes like, snake, snake, snake. He did that live, and it was so loud, everyone just stopped and like looked over because these older guys, snake, and it like shook the rafters of the building. And so he's going to be coming on the show. They were all incredible. They were all great. I got this lovely keepsake. I want to share it with you guys so you can see. So if you remember the first Metal Gear Solid game, you had to collect these key cards, these like yellow, blue, and red key cards. So this is a collector set that has all three. And check that out. The cast signed. So got Tasia, Sniper Wolf, Laurie Allen, sorry, what was his name? Something Gale, Marissa Gale, I think it is, who played Fortune. Paul Eating, who's Campbell. Of course, Snake himself, David Hayter. Christopher Randolph's Otacon. Phil Lamar is on there for Vamp. Doug Stone as Mantis. This one was Emma Emmerich. And then Vanessa Marshall, obviously Olga and Dr. Strangelove. Super, super cool. That's going to be in the background in our cool collecting thing. And I couldn't help myself. I was like, all right, that's my one thing. I couldn't help myself. I got this. You're going to love this, dude. So yeah, Funko Pops. Everybody's got Funko Pops. But check out these. These are rubber duckies. So here's a snake. I'm trying, the glare is bad. There you go. There's a snake with his pistol. In his rubber ducky in a bathtub, signed by David Hayter, of course. And then, only because of how awesome he looks, here is Psycho Mantis Duck in his gimp suit, signed by Doug Stone. Or where is it on the back? Doug Stone's Psycho Mantis. So I just think these are cool. I mean, everybody's got Funko Pops. How many people got the licensed rubber duckies? So that's a fun little get. Now, I will say, because I love my audience and I never leave them empty-handed, I have so many things to give away, including a number of posters, may or may not be signed. Let's see what else. I've got, this was an exclusive, you had to get like the VIP badge to get one of these. It's the Fat Man. He's from Metal Gear Solid 2. He was the guy in the big bomb vest that was on skates. You can see he's on skates. And he even comes with a little wine glass. He was drinking his little wine glass. He's on skates. So these were given to only like the highest tier VIP members. So you can get yourself one of those. I've got some Solid Snake koozies, with the classic memes. We've got keychains. We've got Velcro patches, MGS Con. We've got dog tags from MGS Con. And then we have this, which I got to figure out who I should give this to. And I'm not going to unfold it. This is a big flag. It is the Foxhound flag. And it's signed by everyone from the show, from the game. So we're going to have to, you can see his face because he didn't know about this. But it is the Foxhound Special Operations flag. So there you go. Sign, and there's Snake. David Hayter, Snake. So
CQ, this is episode 178, right?
Yes.
You need to give that away on episode 200.
Ooh. Oh, but think about that though. That's a while from now. It seems like it's close, But think about it, 178 to 200. That's what 22 episodes. That's a year from now. That's practically a year from now when you count in all the holidays and things like that. I'm gonna be taking. I don't know if I'm gonna wait a year for that one. In fact, a year from now I'll be at MGS 3 and I can go pick up another one.
Well, wait a minute. How long did you hold on to the Avengers RDJ poster?
That's different. That's different.
All right. All right, fine. We're at episode 172, episode 175.
People say 179. Okay, why, Greg? Why 179? I'm curious. It's such a random number. Billy's. He said so much for not unfolding it, but you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. We are flying by the seat of our pants tonight. What else? Because there's so much we have to pack into this episode. We are going to do. I didn't forget. We're gonna do this live giveaway here momentarily. So hang on. We're gonna give that away here in a second. But something that came up while I was at MGS Con, and that's why I'm kind of tying this all together. The person who had won the Avengers box, y'all remember the Avengers box, right? The one with the Hulk cards and the signed card, whatever. She was at MGS Con. So when I had messaged her and I said, hey, I'm going to bring it to you. And then, we'll take some pictures and whatever. And we took some pictures and everything. And then she shocked me by going, I'm not a really big Marvel fan. I just did it because I wanted to support and participate in things. She goes, here, you take it, give it to someone else. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I have right here the Avengers box that we're going to give away live tonight. So someone is going to win not only the Hit Parade Pop, not only the Avengers box, but you know what? I'm feeling froggy, man. Let's give away the flag tonight too. Screw it. Let's give it all away.
All in one wait, are we talking about 3 separate giveaways?
We're talking
one person gets the jackpot.
3 separate giveaways. Calm down. 3 separate giveaways. I want more people to win. I want more people to win. So real quick, before we get to giving away stuff, wherever you're watching this, share it. Let get your friends, get your people in here, increase your odds at winning, right? Let people know we're about to give away, literally hundreds of dollars of items away. Is this what happens when CQ goes on vacation? Yes, I have a lot of pent-up energy. I downed a fucking energy drink, and I'm bursting at the seams with stuff, and I want to give it away. So share. Let people know right now. We're going to do this in the next few minutes. I want to give people a few minutes to go and get their friends, increase your odds of winning, or somebody I mean, you can hog it all, go for it yourself, or you can, bring in your kids, bring in your families. They just need access to the chats because we're gonna do this through the chats. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my sponsored.
Oh, it's serious, folks. It's serious.
We're getting serious. We're getting serious. The sponsor hat's going on because, of course, the awesome people at Hit Parade, the awesome people at Hit Parade have given us this incredible stuff to give away. Which now I feel like we've got a whole new lease on it. So let me think. It was a vacation. We did that. MGS Con, which again was just awesome. Really, if you're a big fan of Metal Gear Solid or you're in the California area, I highly implore you to check it out next year. We were doing some absolutely insane giveaways, or not giveaways, I shouldn't say, raffles. Because part of why I was there, obviously capturing it as Pop Culture Warrior, but also for those that know me, I do a lot of volunteer work for Wounded Warrior Project and things. And so MGS Con partnered up with Wounded Warrior Project to raise money. We did a special raffle to raise money for Wounded Warrior Project. And we had some incredible prizes donated, posters, artwork. And one of the things that was given to give away was something that I am so blown away by. What, again, these were, $5 ticket got you into the raffle. Someone walked away. You know what one of the prizes was? Something I was blown away. It was a copy of Metal Gear Solid 1, the PlayStation game. But it wasn't just the game. it was what was it called? The shareholders edition, which means it was never for sale. You had to be a stakeholder of Konami to receive one of these. There's no barcode on it. There's no, because it wasn't for sale. It was still in the original wrapping. It was still in the 1990 whatever one it was. Like, do you know what a Metal Gear Solid 1 game
98.
wrapped, 98 wrapped,
Yeah.
that was never for sale? You know what that goes for? And for somebody, and I think the guy who won it, I think bought like 2 tickets, which is like $10. And
Nice.
and he won it. How can stuff talk about hey Spartans then, how's it going? So we're gonna do a bunch of giveaways, do a bunch of giveaways. I think we should just get it rolling. So real quick, huge shout out to our sponsor. This is the last week they're our sponsor. I mean, really, Hit Parade has gone above and beyond and given us some incredibly cool prizes. If you haven't seen it, it was an autographed movie script. It was a one-of-a-kind sketch card, a Star Wars sketch card. It was the Avengers prize box, which ended up being like a pack of unopened Hulk cards from 1991. It was the signed Michael Mandow signed card. And then it was the 1991 Colossus original Marvel card, which was a 9 mint 9. So somebody's going to win that right now. And then, of course, our final prize is the pop vinyl. That is mystery autographed, still in the wrapper. We don't know who it is, but somebody's going to win that, and we're going to crack that bad boy open. So what do you say? What do you say? If I sub, can I get the flag? You can, we're going to give it away right now. So you can just, I mean, sub to sub, man. I would appreciate
So
it. That's
what are you
just,
talking about? You need to become a Patreon level, freaking like top tier level.
So- see, I was thinking about that. Should I make one of those like a Patreon only, like maybe do the
Yes.
flag as
The
a
flag.
Patreon only?
Absolutely. Yes, CQ. Give the Patreon supporters something.
I know.
Make it worth our while.
So, okay, that's fair. As you can tell, I'm doing this all on the fly. So here's what we're going to do. Live right here. Sorry, I'm trying to make my brain work. Live right here. We're going to give away the pop, the autograph pop. We're going to give away the Hit Parade Avengers box. And then tonight or tomorrow, I guess either tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to do a Patreon only giveaway for the flag. It's obviously, probably worth $500 with each autograph was like $50 plus the flag is like another $20-$30. So it's got to be at least there's like 10 autographs, $50 a pop. Yeah, over $500 flag. So if you want a chance to win the flag, go over to patreon.com/popculturewarrior and become a member. As little as $3 a month. And you could win an awesome flag signed by the entire group of Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. So, I mean...
And here's the best part. If you're a bottom tier, you get 1 vote or 1 entry. If you're the middle tier, you get 2. But if you're the top tier, which is what, $25 a month, CQ? You get 3 entries. And that's the best part about being a Patreon supporter. That's why, even though I'm the backup co-host, I'm a Patreon supporter. And yes, I'm the top tier. Why? Because I love this guy.
Sorry, Greg said Patreon subscribers paid for that vacation, right? I wish that were the case. Oh, man.
No, they paid for me to be able to bootleg.
That's funny. Okay, screw it. Let's do this because I want to do this now. I want to get this over with.
Let's do it.
And one last thing, too. If you don't win anything from Hit Parade, again, highly encourage it. I've bought numerous things out of my own pocket from Hit Parade because I really like their product. And there is a promo code WTF-NR20 gets you $20 off a $100 purchase. So use it. It's really worth it. And we'll talk about the other thing that I want to talk about right after this.
Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to stay on for this one.
Yeah. So do the pop vinyl first?
Let's do the pop
Or do
vinyl.
we do the Avengers box first?
No, do the pop vinyl first,
Pop
and
vinyl
let's do the Avengers second.
Okay. You heard it here first. Let me get my... Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. All right.
If you want to be code
if you want
word,
to be entered, how are we going to do this? Yeah, we need something.
pop in the chat. Pop. P-O-P. Pop.
Pop. There you go. If you want to be entered right here, right now, to win this mystery autographed, I'll even sign it if you want. Shit, I'll sign it. Pop culture prize. Joshua, I see you, buddy. Oh, Billy Bunting, that was a good one. He should have been Funko. That would have been funny. Angry Elf is making host decisions now. Fair
I'm the
enough.
backup host.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, I'm going to try to keep up with all of these chats as they're coming in. Okay, where is my other screen? Okay, so let's do it this way. There it is. Okay, sorry, I lost my screen here. I have too many monitors now. That's the problem. Too many monitors. All right, so let's see. I've got, let's see, Joshua. I got you, bud. I've got Billy. Oh, Billy. Heath. Some ass named Angry Elf. All right. I like you sliding in there. Charles, I see you, bud. You guys are funny. Gary, man, I got you, bud. Everybody sign it, Jen. I also wanting a CQ autograph. You don't want a CQ autograph. Nobody wants a CQ autograph. Voco? Okay, bet, man. I dig it. Jen, I got you. Greg, didn't I already say you? I thought I said, oh no, I said Gary. Greg. All right. Anybody? I mean, Greg makes a fair point. Should hosts be allowed to win? I mean, I don't know.
I'm a Patreon supporter. I pay $25 a month.
I mean, I
Who
tell you
knows?
what. I'm thinking. I'm working it out in my head live. I mean, you've already got the 3 entries as a Patreon member. I think I'm gonna take out Angry Elf. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Fine.
I mean,
I'll
I
just
think it's
log
only
into my
fair.
backup account.
I think, hey, don't blame me. Blame Greg. Greg.
All right, fine, Greg.
Greg threw
You're
you
not
under the bus
invited
on
to
that
my
one. Peter he says, how about you? You gotta put pop in the chats, man. If you guys don't put pop in the chat, then how am I supposed to capture your name? You gotta put pop in the chat. But I see Peter. I see you, bud. All right.
While CQ does this, you know, now's the time you guys need to start thinking about your Halloween costumes, because CQ does the annual Halloween costume contest, and we only get like a handful of entries. Now, I mean, we've got like what, 2.5 months to Halloween. Start thinking about your Halloween costumes. Start building up. Hey, if you're lucky, like me, my Spirit Halloween opened this week. I went there today.
They are putting
I'm
up
already looking at
Halloween
Halloween costumes
everywhere, man. Like in Target and Walmart and all those places, they're putting up Halloween stuff already. They're desperate.
as soon as 4th of July is over, Halloween's on. In fact, because my neighborhood, it goes crazy. I bought Halloween candy today, August 6th, and I'll be buying Halloween candy between now and October 31st, because I need like 2,000 pounds worth of Halloween candy to make it through like 2 hours. That's how many trick-or-treaters I get.
You guys are funny. I dig it. All right. So we've got,
start building your Halloween costumes now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 people. 10 people. Hey, I put out the message. Tonight was the night to watch live, just so y'all can win some stuff. And guess what? You guys are gonna win stuff. I'm just gonna start doing that from now on. Just randomly giving away stuff so people feel impressed upon to watch live. But all right,
Empowered.
the what?
Empowered.
Empowered. Okay. Did I get the Facebook chat? Keith? What are you talking about, bud? I don't. Which one?
Which
I feel
Facebook?
like-
That's true.
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing. Am I missing chat somewhere?
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like I'm
Do
missing.
I need to go on Facebook and
I
oh
don't know.
mackerel? I see a lot of chats.
There's a lot of chats out there. From Facebook chat. Oh. Yeah, that's weird. I wasn't getting okay. Oh, I know why. My bad. If you're watching on Facebook on the Pop Culture Warrior page, give me a second. I got you. I had that open in a separate window and I did not see it. So hang on one second. Nope, sorry about that. Not that button. Hang on one second here. Hang on one second. All right, I gotta see. Okay, hang on. Going back up. First, let's make 8 accounts. Scott says, make 8 accounts. Dude, Scott, don't be putting that out there. Wow, that's actually smart, though. Because he said instead of paying 1 account for $25 and you get 3 entries, you could get 8 accounts at $3. You'd get 8 entries for the $25. I mean, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. I mean, it's messed up, but it's not wrong. But all right, I see the chats now. So I got Scott. Thanks, Keith. Appreciate you, bud. Scott, I see you, Beth. Hey, Beth. Thanks for hanging out with us. Screw you, kids. Who else we got?
I don't
We
know.
got Brendan with a Y. All right, what do
I
you
don't
got?
know if I'm disappointed in Scott for bringing that up or disappointed in myself for not thinking that up because I'd save a buck. I would save a buck if I did that.
You just did the
And yet
math.
it-
You just did the math in your head. Oh God, don't make me laugh
Yeah,
because
I
I'm
did
in
the
a
math in
coughing
my
spell.
head. I'd save a buck and get 8 entries. Damn it. And you know what I would do? I'd name them Angry Elf 1, Angry Elf 2, and so on and so on.
All right, if you're not gonna at least be creative, then you don't get to pull that move. All right, Leon, I got you. Elizabeth, hey Elizabeth, how you doing? I see you. Let's see, did I miss anybody else? No, I think. Oh, Joe, of course, can't forget Joe. Sorry, I'm working with a lot of windows here, people. Bear with me, and I'm a little rusty. I haven't done this in a while. My first time here,
In
and
2 weeks.
Mike is just being Mike. You know what? Screw you guys. Okay, I think I've got everybody. Much more people that time. That I knew I was missing something. I know what? But I knew I was missing something. Okay, I think I've got everybody now. Now I think we're good. Okay. All right. Easy, everybody. Easy. Down. I got you. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to pull this page up. That is not the right page. No, sirree, Bob. I wanted to get the wheel. Where's the wheel at? Come here, wheel. There's the wheel. Sorry. It'll be worth the wait. I'm sure it won't be worth the wait. Okay. Here's the prize. Pop vinyl, autographed. Let's see. Keep talking shit, Liz. Keep talking shit. I'll ban you.
Shit.
Not feel bad for throwing angry. No, Greg says now I feel bad for throwing Angry Elf under the bus. Look at his sad face. Look at his sad face. Show him the sad face. Oh, there's the sad face. Okay. So where is the button for? Hang on. I'm gonna break this probably. Hey, it didn't break. Look at that. Let's see. Where is this one? There it is. Okay.
You looking for the shuffle button?
So obviously, real quick, just so everybody's on the same page, I always like to be full transparency. If you look here on the right, you'll see names with P next to their names. That is Patreon members. They are wonderful supporters who help support the channel to keep us improving and adding in all types of cool stuff like that, what we're doing now. P for Patreon member, P2 for the second tier, and P3 for the third tier. And here's all the names of the people that joined us tonight: Joshua, Billy, Heath, Charles, Gary, Voco, Jen, Greg, Peter, Scott, Beth, Brendan, Keith, Leon, Elizabeth, and Joe. Let's go ahead. Where's my shuffle? There's the shuffle button. All right, I'm gonna start shuffling up the wheel.
8 times for the number of appearances for Hugh Jackman in a major motion picture as Wolverine.
Eight? About 24 times for the 24 years he's been Wolverine.
Fine, you can do it. I thought about that. Then I was like, "Do you really want to shuffle it 24 times? I'll do 8."
All right, here we
fine.
go. Let's give away and find out, because it's been killing me to find out what's inside this box. But here we go. One lucky winner of this amazing autographed pop vinyl mystery box. And the lucky winner. Oh, it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. Oh, Gary just missed out. Hey, Jen, good job. Well done, Jen.
Good job, Jen.
Shoot me a message in the DM, and so that way I can get you out your prize. But let's find out, because more than anything, I am just super curious.
What is this?
What's in the box? What's in the box? So,
Could it be a pop of CQ? Ooh, that would be epic.
yeah, nobody would want that. All right, so as we can see, wrapped, still in the box with the little tape thingy. Let's
I'd
pop
want
open.
a pop of CQ
Nobody wants a pop of
so I can
CQ.
abuse it every night.
Oh, gross. All right, I am now cutting in. Ooh, shoot, don't cut the box.
Don't touch yourself.
Stop, I'm not gonna cut myself again. All right, let's see, slice that bad boy open.
Again, he says again.
I may or may not have cut myself before. Damn, this plastic is thick. That's what she said. Right.
You beat me to it.
Okay. I'm so excited. All right. Let's see what the mystery pop is. Ooh, I might have a clue of what it is.
Is it a
Jeez,
Wolverine?
buddy. I
Is it
wish.
Deadpool?
Interesting. Wow. It's a double signature. You're getting 2 signatures, Jen. Jen. So first off, the pop is Casper the Friendly Ghost, but the 2 signatures are Devon Sawa and Christina Ricci from the Casper the Ghost movie.
Oh, Christina Ricci.
You've got a
That's
Christina
awesome.
Ricci and Devon Sawa, which I want to say Devon Sawa was the voice of Casper. I want to say. Let's do a quick.
I got it. You keep talking.
Yes. And as you can see, it comes with a JSA certification. This is authentically certified, authenticated certification with its own number and everything.
Who was
That's
the second
cool.
signature?
Devon, Devon Sawa, Sawa.
Yeah, he was Casper. He was the voice of Casper.
The cartoon or the movie?
That's the movie with Christina
Movie.
Ricci.
So what was that? 1999? It was Casper.
99. Let me see. 95. 95.
So the 1995 classic live action Casper the Ghost, you now have a double signature of the lead cast, Christina Ricci, and the voice of Casper the Ghost, Devon Sawa. This is super cool. Hey Jen, let's talk. Maybe trade you something for it. Maybe we can talk a little business. Hit me up in the chats. We're gonna get you this awesome prize back. This was cool. This is cool.
That's cool.
Because I'm a
That's
movie
cool.
guy. I'm a movie guy. So I love that. I love that. And
Hey,
come on, who didn't like Christina Ricci back in the day? Come on, right? Right?
who still doesn't like her? You know what
Who
the
still
best
doesn't?
part about that movie is?
What's that?
You know why I love that movie?
Why is that?
Freaking Dan Aykroyd cameos as Ray Stantz as a Ghostbuster
That's right.
in
That's
that
right.
movie, and tells the two people trying to evict that, call somebody else.
Yeah, go call somebody else. I love that. All right, so we've done that. We've done that. Let's go ahead before we dive into more stuff. I want to give away the next thing.
Assemble.
Let's give away the Avengers Assembled. Let's see, live giveaway. I've got my box again. Okay, so that was super cool. That was super cool.
I'm jealous.
What is
Assemble.
okay? There you go. You can give me an Avengers or an Assemble, either or. And Billy beat you to it. Avengers.
Wait. He's gonna say it. He's gonna say it.
Spoilers. Avengers or Assemble. Give me something in the chats and I'm going to capture you guys and I'm going to add you. We'll do another quick spin of the wheel. Billy, I got you, buddy. Keith, I got you, buddy. Who else? Charles, I got you, bud. I think I spelled Keith wrong. That's all right. I know who it is. Keith. Gary. I got Gary. Got Leon. Beth, I got you. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Jen, you don't get to win two things in one night. No.
Wait a minute.
Greg, I got you, buddy. Trying to sneak in another one. Scott, I got you, bud.
Wait.
What?
Maybe she's trying to freaking, wheel and deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe she gets a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Maybe she wants that Captain America shield or that Loki staff. Maybe she wants both of them. She can get that Deadpool
calm
head.
down. Stop giving away my shit. You calm down. You calm down over there. You shush. All right, I got Billy. I got Keith. I got Charles. I got Gary. I got Leon. I got Beth, Greg, Scott. Pop. Man, someone from Pop Culture Warrior just. All right, very funny. That's very funny. Anybody else? Where do I feel like I'm missing chat somewhere? Where the hell is my other chat? I bet you that's what it is. I bet you I'm missing more chats. Keep talking. My toes are wriggling. You guys are funny. Okay, nobody else. All right. We will go with it. We will go with it, man. Avengers. Heath. Oh, Heath sliding in at the last second. All right. Let me get you, Heath. I got you, buddy.
Yeah, get Heath in there.
Gotta get Heath in there. All right. Final call. Somebody's walking away with his amazing Avengers prize package from the awesome guys at Hit Parade, which I do like the Michael Mandel signed card. If this doesn't say, I could have easily put this in my back pocket and no one ever saw it again. Nobody would have ever known, but I can't do that.
I would have known.
You would not.
I would have known.
You would not have known. No one would have known.
Yeah,
but I can't be that guy. I can't.
I can sniff it out.
You sniff it out. All right. Hey, Elizabeth, why the question mark? Why assemble?
Assemble?
Assemble? Maybe? All right, Scott. I'm spinning. All right, let's bring up the wheel again.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
I'm Ron Burgundy? Where the hell did I put that? There it is. Okay. No, I said it could be Avengers or Assemble. That's all I was saying. Okay, let's mix up the names again. And we're going to give away this fabulous prize. Correct. If you don't put it in the chats, you don't get entered into the giveaway. I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory at this point. I'm just saying. All right, here we go.
I said it out loud. Does that count?
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Stop. Here we go.
And
The winner of the Avengers prize box. Get the fuck out of here. It's going to be Elizabeth, who didn't even know how to enter the game. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that. The person who didn't even know. First time here. Oh, man. Sorry, William. So close. Keith, so close. Leon, so close. Sorry, guys. Elizabeth, hit me up in the chats privately, and I will get you this incredible prize package, which includes, in case you weren't here earlier, you get a pack of unopened Hulk trading cards from 1990. You get an autographed, where's the camera? There's the camera. Autographed Michael Mandow card, famous for Better Call Saul and, of course, the Spider-Man movies. And then this wonderful 1990 graded 9 mint Marvel Universe Colossus card. I mean, it's pretty cool collectible.
better not see that stuff on eBay. No.
Hey, man, it's yours to do what you wish. If that's what you wish to do, that's your business. Alrighty, so we gave that away. 2 awesome prizes given away. If you want a chance at the flag, the signed Metal Gear Solid by the entire cast, go be a Patreon member. At least for the month, and boom, you got a chance at a flag.
Is there any way for me to get up to a higher tier?
Yes.
Higher.
Sign up as another account.
Christ, you're gonna make me do this.
So let me just say again, final word on Hit Parade, our great sponsor. When I say that I get offered sponsorships often, and I decline them because I'm not a smoker. I'm not going to promote a smoking brand. I'm not a whatever. I don't know. I just like if they like, hey, can you sell our pistol holsters? I feel like that doesn't really go with what I mean. Obviously, we have a big military audience, so there's a case for that, but it doesn't really go with the pop culture theme. This was a great collaboration because they really got what we do here. And again, I'm not only a sponsoree, I'm also a customer, right? Like this is the thing.
You're a member? You're a member?
I'm a member. Let me just say, I went ahead and bought for me, because goddamn it, Daddy deserves it. I got, in honor of the big Deadpool and Wolverine release, they released a special edition 2024 big box Deadpool / Wolverine special edition. This is number 36 out of 50. And before anybody says, are we giving it away? No, this is mine. Mine. You guys get all the other stuff, mine. But here is why I wanted to share with it. I've opened quite a few Hit Parade boxes at this point. And, it's typical. When you open a Hit Parade box, you get one of these little flyers, red on one side, black on the side, says Hit Parade. But something was different when I opened my Deadpool and Wolverine box. Why? There was a gold card, and it said, Case Hit. And I went,
He gets to go see Willy Wonka.
I said, gold card, Case Hit. That seems important. And each item, because it was a big box, so there's multiple items, each item was in a separate bag. Not just in the box like all the other boxes. Each was in a bag. So, first thing, a Wolverine comic and a Deadpool comic. Cool. Nothing groundbreaking, but cool. Then, this is pretty awesome. This is a 1995 Flair Deadpool Hollow Blast card. It's him fighting Juggernaut in the hologram. If you can pick that up. There we go.
The glare's killing it, but yeah, I see
glare's
it.
killing it, but you can see it a little bit. Which that's pretty cool. Then there was this 9.4 CGC rated Deadpool number 1000, issue number 1000, which is like double thick. Like they're not usually this thick. It's like double thick, 9.4 Marvel comic, which is very cool. There's Blind Owl in the corner there and all the things, and it's very cool. But I was like, hey, case hit. And then I opened the last thing, which I can't show you this part, but there's a little thing that says, Hit Parade, congratulations, you pulled a big hit from Hit Parade. With your permission, we'd like to share your pull with our fans and show that people really do win big. We'll also send you a $20 gift code if you upload your pictures. I'm not going to show you the other side of it because it has a code on there that I know you freaks would steal. So,
I've already done it. I can see it. I saw the glare off his eyes, and I've already redeemed the code.
What was the hit? Why, it was this Funko, which is a Hot Topic exclusive of Deadpool in the gray, black, and red, signed and authenticated by Stan the Man Lee. That is a Stan Lee signed Hot Topic exclusive Deadpool, which apparently the Hot Topic exclusive Deadpool was hard enough to get by itself. And then the fact that it's signed and authenticated, a little authentication sticker, by Stan Lee is, I mean, for anybody that knows me, I adore Stan Lee. Not only for the fact that he created, damn near everything that's amazing in the freaking world at this point.
Yes.
But I've also, prior to his passing, I met him a few times at different conventions, and he was the sweetest guy. He was the nicest guy. Had I had this show before his passing, he would have absolutely come on this show. He would have.
Oh, that would have been an epic show. That would have been an epic show.
When I say that me and him had great conversations, and he would always take the time and talk, and he was just a wonderful, wonderful human being. Big military supporter, having been a service member himself. So the fact that I got a Deadpool signed by Stan Lee is just it's such a beautiful thing. And I'm going to add that to the collection in the back. I also did, just because, and don't think I'm special, like, because it was CQ, they sent him a good one. They didn't even know that I had ordered it. I ordered it on my own site, but I also ordered I
called ahead and told them who it was.
Yeah. I also ordered, they had another box. It was just autographed comic book mystery box. And I ended up pulling a 8.5 Batman annual #1 signed by Scott Snyder. There it is. So I was pretty happy with that. I like Scott Snyder. Another guy I've met and we've chatted with briefly, but very cool. Scott Snyder signed one. So when I say they have good stuff, obviously it is random. You don't know what you're gonna get. I love them just because they're very upfront about. There are a lot of mystery box companies out there, and they're like, yeah, you could hit a fucking Charizard 10 that's worth $20,000, but you don't know how much junk is out there for your chance to win that. Hit Parade, their boxes are numbered, small batches, and they will tell you, here are all the things that you could win.
Yeah.
So at the very least, what is the worst you're gonna get. And so they're very upfront and transparent. I respect them as a company for what they're doing. Once again, I highly, highly recommend, if you got a friend that's out there that's a pop culture fan. Also, the pop culture side is actually small. They're more known for their sports collectibles. So if you're into sports cards, jerseys, I ordered a autographed jersey from them, got one. So again, Hit Parade, awesome. Use the code WTF-NR20 and you'll get $20 off a $100 order. They're a great company. And hopefully, I have a meeting with them coming up soon. Hopefully, we'll have some more collaborations with them in the future. Maybe we'll do special releases or something like that. So,
you know who I'd like to get an autographed? I'd like to get an autographed pair of shoes from Rob Liefeld.
I'm sure he would love that. I'm sure.
Oh, I bet he
When you
would.
say shoes, do you mean like a trapezoid square kind of thing? Like you get like a.
I was thinking about some Hey Dudes, just Sign those.
Dude, you know what you do is you get like a 2x4 and then cut it into like weird angles and then like spray paint it solid black and then be like, hey, can you sign this shoe? And oh, dude, I bet you he would fucking love that. I bet you he would dig that. Oh, great question. What's the code for the $20 off? It is, let me put it here in the chat. Where did my chat go? Hang on a second.
You have like 20 chats going on.
I know, I have too many chats. All right. So here's the code, promo code. Let's see, promo code is WTF-NR20. And you put that in at checkout, and then you'll get $20 off any purchase of $100 or more. And I mean, I'm just saying, you could probably use that code multiple times. I don't think they're gonna limit it to just one use. So like you can't see what I'm saying. It's not me. It's AI generated. But yeah, you could. I've used it multiple times because I've ordered a bunch of stuff, and I'm not an idiot. I'll save money when I can. But again, show them some love. Go follow them, like them, tell them you saw them on Pop Culture Warrior, because the more they see that their collaboration with us has worked for them, the more likely they are to give us more stuff to give away.
Oh, CQ sent you.
Tell them CQ sent you. So yeah. Since we got a couple minutes here before we take a quick break and then do the interview. The Deadpool Wolverine box made me think. Let's talk about Deadpool and Wolverine for a second. How good was that movie?
How good was it? On a scale of 1 to 10, it was like a 15. Oh my gosh. Can we throw a spoiler alert? Like, throw the spoiler tab up.
There you go. It's up.
All right.
Spoilers.
Dude. Everything from that freaking moment that Deadpool looks at freaking that skeleton of Wolverine and says, Peanut, I guess we're going to get that team up anyways. Yeah, and then they do the NSYNC bye bye bye. Oh my god. And the fact that plays into X2?
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, do you remember when we went and saw X2 together?
I do.
Yes. And then the fact that, oh my god, there's too many cameos to talk about.
You know, I love the fact, by the way, speaking of the bye 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 thing, have you heard that it is back in the top 20 charts? Bye 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 is actually in the top 20 charts.
Yes.
And they went, and you can check this. If you go to Apple Music, you go to Spotify, you search for Bye Bye Bye. Now the name of the song is Bye Bye Bye, as featured in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine, yes.
I love that.
And I may or may not have been responsible for getting that into the top 20.
Just looping it and dancing. Bye, bye, bye.
Oh God, I have that sequence that set the tone for the movie, and like yes, the fact that I love that whole opening sequence. That was priceless.
I love it. I do love it. I will still say Deadpool 1 opening is better. The car, and I mean like the opening title sequence where like he's like doing, because it's like, you know, some dumbass, you know, written by a jackass and this and all that. I think that is still, to me, the best intro to a movie of all time. It's funny, before we went to see Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters, me and my wife did sit down and we watched Deadpool 1, we watched Deadpool 2, we watched Logan, we watched a bunch of things to kind of grease the gears for the movie.
Have you seen the music video to Celine Dion's song from
part 2.
Deadpool 2?
For part 2,
and at the end he's like, oh, Celine Dion, you know, that's great. You know, you're at 11, I need to bring it down to 6.5. And she's like, Spider-Man, F you. He's like, I should have got in sync. And then he goes, and the opening of this movie is bye, bye, bye.
Yeah. And least we forget that in Deadpool 1, I think I
Mhm.
haven't counted it specifically. It might be the 6th line in the movie. He's
Uh,
literally sitting on the thing and he's waiting for the caravan. He's sitting and he goes, "Oh, hello," and he goes, "I know what you're thinking. What did this guy do to get his own movie?" He's like, or is it whose balls did he fondle to get his own movie? And he says, "It rhymes with pulverine."
yeah.
That there's a Wolverine reference within the first 30 seconds of Deadpool 1 to then turn around, bring it all the way back around, and to have Wolverine in this one. It's such a great job.
Oh,
I think.
thi-
Go ahead.
this this movie.
Hmm.
I mean, hands down, if you're a fanboy of either Wolverine or Deadpool or both, like you and me, like seriously,
Deadpool. Which
yes.
I'm talking to somebody about getting a Wolverine cowl to add to the background because I feel like a Wolverine cowl needs to be back there.
Oh, I'll tell you this much. Hold your breath. It's coming. Somebody at Hasbro is got to be doing a Wolverine cowl in
I
the
feel
near
like
future.
I feel like I don't know. Is it me or the merchandising for this movie has been very? Don't get me wrong. The buckets are there. The drinks
Yeah.
are there, and I'm sure there's shirts at Hot Topic and things like that. But like the toy line, I think there's only like 3 toys coming from this.
So
I feel like the
there
merch has
no,
been very lacking.
so there was a couple of Wolverine and Deadpool figures that came out prior to the movie, and then after the movie came out, there was 3 figures announced. Um, at my Target, I saw a set of Deadpool swords, but you know what really surprises me is so these claws that I have, they're licensed Wolverine claws, but these are from the second Wolverine movie,
The
the
Wolverine,
Wolverine. When did
yeah,
that come out? In 13, right? So
yeah,
these are almost 10 years old. I've had these since 2013. Um, but I haven't seen anything like this floating around.
yeah. You
Supposedly
figure
there's stuff at
they'd have like the plastic things that just pshing and pop out. I mean,
well,
Disney's
yeah, but those
making
have been out for a hot minute.
lightsabers that pop out. Why can't we get some like pshing and just
Well, no, they so with X-Men 97, they had a set of like Wolverine claws, but they didn't bring out anything for Deadpool and Wolverine. I give Hasbro like 20 minutes. They'll get something out.
How funny
Um,
though? Did you see that one of the toys announced was and it's the back. Sorry, it just makes me crack up. It literally says head pool with Logan. Right. And I mean
oh
the
yes,
majority of the like it's Logan figure, and then there's like a head pool is this big,
yes, a
but
head pull.
they
Yes,
didn't
I
say
saw
it was
that.
Logan with head pool, right? It's head pool with Logan, which I think is
Well,
hilarious.
and I may or may not have ordered a couple of Wolverines. I may or may not have ordered a couple of Deadpools. They may or may not be showing
Uh,
up in November. I don't know. All I know is I can't wait till this movie comes out on Blu-ray. I will be getting the Steelbook. Whoever has got the Steelbook and has or Marvel, if you're listening, if you don't release a Steelbook, I'm going to be upset. But yes, this movie, I already saw it twice. Twice. Um, I'm saving my money to go see uh,
Romulan,
Alien
Romulus.
Romulus. Thank you, but this movie was worth it. I
Yeah,
have yes.
lots of
Supposedly, hey,
cameos.
did you know this movie leaked on YouTube in whole?
Yeah, there's lots of I've seen that a lot. It happens.
But
I
this,
will say so
yeah,
non-spoilery for those that are I turned off the spoiler warning. So we're going to stop with the spoilers. I think it's obvious it's cameo laden. It's cameo full
yes.
of cameos. Um I don't feel like there was a really like I don't feel like there was a point where you're like, okay, it's too much. I feel like everybody got their
Oh,
spotlight. I felt like
yeah.
nobody overstayed their welcome. Um, now the what a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, the people that did give it mixed reviews or down reviews, it had a lot to do with like, well, it's a weak story. It's a bland villain. It's very MacGuffin driven. And I'm like, yeah, I could see your point, right? It's villain of the
Yeah.
day, but like that's comic books. Very few
course.
villains are fleshed out with, Magneto level backstories and all that. Most villains are like,
Right.
I'm angry and mad and I'm gonna kill, and like that's what they do. And I feel like, they're like, there's no heart in this movie because, like Logan was a movie with a lot of heart. And even Deadpool 1 was, a movie about love, and there's a lot of heart in it. Deadpool 2, I felt like it was just a fun, silly movie.
Yeah.
But we don't go to a Deadpool movie for Oscar noms,
Yeah.
right?
No, we don't.
For character development and story arcs and really well done story. Like, no, we want to see fucks, we want to see swords, we want to see guns. That's what we want to see, and we, and jokes, lots
You
of
want to
jokes.
see Hugh Jackman references? I mean, dude.
Mhm. Lots of ball
I
play.
yes. This
Yeah.
you know what really gave me the feels was that behind the scenes send off during the credits. This is not a
No
spoiler.
spoilers, not spoilers. Yeah,
This
it
is
was
not a spoiler, but
during the credits
this
roll.
movie
There's it's a look back at the history of like the X-Men movies and like all the
This-
Fox universe.
this is a love letter to the Fox Marvel universe, with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and all that stuff. This was I love you. Thank you for the memories.
Yeah.
And I really felt that this movie like treated it epically.
Yeah,
I mean, even with the
honestly, let's say so. Honestly, I was gonna say that I anticipated, and this is no spoilers, but I anticipated that this movie was gonna really shit on Fox and like,
Right.
fuck you, Fox, and I'm Disney now, and this and all
Right.
that. But it really wasn't that. Like, it took shots, and it took shots across both. It took shots at Fox.
oh,
It took
yeah,
shots
it
at
took
Disney.
shots everywhere.
And like you said, I really do think it was such a nice send off. And like
Right.
to say that, like, I thought they were gonna like really shit on the Fox universe and like, put it in the ground and cover it with dirt and pretend it never, and like it's done, it's gone, and that you didn't really get that feeling. Like, you didn't get the feeling of
No.
like, and it could have. They really, narratively speaking, they could have dug a hole, put Fox in it, and been like, bye, 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 and moved on.
Exactly.
And they really didn't. They really didn't. It really did feel like they were paying tribute and showing a lot of reverence and love for what came before, and in a nice kind of send off way that still allows for it to like be there in the background somewhere. It exists somewhere
Yeah.
out there, which I thought was a kind of a cool way for them to do it. So,
And the cool part is, considering the fact that everything else that was announced and the fact that a couple years from now we're going to get Secret Wars, there's the illusion too that
There might be more.
everybody that's available could come back.
I mean, think about Avengers Endgame, right? That level of
Uh-huh.
how many people were involved, and then
Right.
open the floodgates to not only everybody that's come since Endgame, but also everyone that came from before Iron Man 1. Like,
Yeah, all the way back to Blade.
cinematically, dude, fuck that. Go before Blade. Dolph Lundgren as Punisher. Fucking Hasselhoff as Nick Fury. We're talking go way back. Bring back that dude that was like Japanese Spider-Man. Like,
Oh, wait, unfortunately, I think Bill Bixby is dead, but how
Well.
awesome would that be if he came back as Bruce Banner?
Yeah, I mean, dude, imagine Lou Ferrigno's Hulk standing in front of Edward Norton's Hulk and Eric Bana's Hulk, and then Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, and then them all just being like, rah, like they're doing like arm wrestling and shit.
Oh my God. Or the fact that they're fighting Hugh Jackman, like 3 or 4
Yeah.
Hulks fighting Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He's like, "Ah, ah, ah." That would be awesome, dude.
Dude, the Thor that was in, okay, so a lot of people don't remember like the series Hulk, but there was a Thor, Hulk Thor team up, and bring that guy is Thor.
Or the Matt Murdock that was in the Trial of the Hulk.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep. 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 Dude, you can, I mean, there's so many ways you could go. Places include Steve Buscemi Hulk too. Uh, yeah,
Sure.
man. It might tie in with the boys. Tie in with the boys. That would be something. But yeah, I mean, like, it's crazy. It's crazy where you could go. And I don't think it's a spoiler to say that Ryan Reynolds went on record saying that he had talked to Nick Cage to bring back
Mhm.
Ghost Rider for this movie. The joke he made was that like they had blown the budget and was like, we could
Yeah.
have brought Nick Cage back, but we would have had to actually set his head on fire. We couldn't afford the CGI. We would have actually set his head on fire, which he's like, he was totally down to do, which sounds like a Nick Cage thing.
At this point, I wouldn't put it past the MCU in the future going forward. I mean, you got the Russo brothers, San Diego Comic-Con announcement. Russo brothers are doing the next 2 Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they can pull off Infinity War and Endgame, they're gonna step it up. I know the Russo brothers.
And the fact
Dude.
that Robert Downey Jr. is back as Doctor Doom. There's
Hey.
all right. Look, we could go on this tangent for a while. We have got to cut. We're gonna cut over to our
Yes,
interview.
we gotta go.
We've
This is
got an
another show. Yes.
awesome interview, and we'll talk more on the back end. We'll talk a little bit more at the back
Yes.
end. But I'm gonna go ahead, guys. Please stay tuned. Enjoy this incredible interview. I really love talking with her. She is so much fun. I think if I remember right, because it was a couple weeks ago now, my face was hurting. We were laughing and smiling so much. I really enjoyed talking to her. Please, guys, enjoy this interview with the amazing Tasia Valenza. Make sure I'm recording. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Pop Culture Warrior. I am your host, of course, CQ. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have a very special guest joining with us. She's a diverse Emmy-nominated actress and an Emmy Award-winning voiceover artist who understands the power of persuasion and connecting to the audience with empathy and authenticity. She's given life to iconic characters such as Sniper Wolf in Metal Gear Solid, Poison Ivy in all of the Batman stuff, including the Arkham series and more, and numerous characters in Star Wars and so many other incredible franchises. We have absolutely no time to waste. So let's dive into her fascinating journey in the world of acting and voice work. Please welcome the incredibly talented Tasia Valenza, everybody.
Woo! The crowd goes wild.
That's right. They're screaming. There it is. All right, calm down. Everybody calm down.
Thank you.
Settle down.
Thank
Settle
you.
down.
I receive.
I thank you. I thank you for the love. First off, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
We've met in person previously at the last MGS Con. I know currently this is pre-recorded, so upcoming we have MGS Con. We're both, I'm sure, very excited for that. But the fact that you come here and we could talk about your incredible career, I'm so excited. So again, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, because I remember meeting you last year and we talked about it, and then you reached out, and I was delighted to be able to join you, because I just watched some of your other incredible interviews, and so for me it's equally delightful to be here.
Awesome. Don't make me blush, man. I blush
Oh,
too easy. So,
go on, take it, receive it.
Okay. So much like we do with every guest, the first portion here is really getting to know you, getting to know the person behind the characters, behind the voices. And obviously we're military affiliated, we're pop culture affiliated. What's your military connection?
So I have 2 practical ones and then a little side one. But my father was in the Korean War and he served there. And my cousin, Brian Valenza, I'm going to shout him out because he's super cool. And he's a Navy SEAL, a former Navy SEAL, and served valiantly and brilliantly for many years. And so I remember when he was 2 years old, and he was this crazy little kid that, you know, was full of muscles over. I was like, and my poor aunt was always like, he was getting into everything, and it said, what was this kid gonna do? And then when I heard he was becoming a Navy SEAL, I was like, yes, that makes sense. So he is a great man and a great warrior, and still serving his country through his connections, and he's wonderful. I'm very proud of him. And on the I played one on TV. I played a before I was a voiceover artist, I was an on-camera actress, and I played a yeoman purser in the series Super Carrier, for those who saw it, and there might be two of you out there, because it was a short-lived series that came out right after the first Top Gun. But I was literally on a super carrier, the John F. Kennedy, for like 6 weeks, and out to sea. I think we were out because they had to go out, and we were just like hanging out doing it. So that was pretty spectacular, just as a life experience, and appreciating these very hardworking. I think it was only men at the time. I'm not, but back then, yeah, because that it was amazing to be a witness to these jets and coming on and going off. And it's just I feel very lucky, because I so appreciate learning about it while I was trying to become it. And so it was a different kind of a connection. So I have that much more appreciation for what you do. And I also just want to point out, I just read the book The Women, which is a powerful, fascinating book about women in Vietnam that were nurses.
Oh wow.
And this, you take out, there's one character, and you go through her life, and you see what she went through to be a nurse, and then coming home, what all these vets were going through, and how they were vilified. And it was just a very powerful reminder of something, again, that we're mostly ignorant about until you get to read something like that, or go on a ship, you know, if you're not directly involved. And I recommend this book to anyone who wants to share that in the military with somebody who's not been in the military, especially from a female perspective. It was very powerful, and I'm still quite affected by it, because she went from this, like, you know, very privileged life to serving, and then loving serving, but also you know, suffering from PST trauma, and the experience post war, where she wasn't even acknowledged because she didn't serve. They kept saying, you didn't serve. So that was something that was just very meaningful recently for me, and I'd love to shout that book out and have anybody and everyone read it.
Absolutely, we'll put it on our must-read list for the audience. But yeah, I mean, we could go down a whole rabbit hole with that time and what those people went through, and God forbid them. But anyway,
Yeah.
we have you here, and I want to talk
Yay!
about you. So give us an idea. What kind of things do you geek out about right now? What are you geeking out about?
Well, in terms of like my newest, latest, greatest like passion, I would have to say it's a little off the beaten path, but it's e-biking. I am my husband and I just celebrated our 25th anniversary. We were married when we were children, and instead of rings, we said, let's get e-bikes, because, you know, we want to further our health and our excitement of life and joy together, and stay healthy. So we thought, let's do that. And I have to say, we got these specialized bikes that are mostly really bikes with just a little power, as opposed to like the big heavy ones. And it has sparked a joy in me, because I already love biking, but let's face it, you know, it's like when you go those hills and you're like, it really takes some of the fun out. So now I'm in that, like, I feel like I'm actually an animated character, because like, now I can go up. I'm a superhero. I can make it up these hills. So we've been exploring places, going to different areas that we never have before, and seeing even LA, on a bike, because it's different from walking or driving a car, right? So when you're walking, you walk very little in LA. And then when you're driving, you're just whizzing by. So now we found all these paths, and we're going to different beaches now. And I feel like not only more alive and more joyful, but I feel like we are making a concentrated effort to spend more fun time together and increase that childlike fun that we all have experienced as children on bikes.
Man, you're doing it right. You're doing it
Yeah.
right. That sounds wonderful. Just as an aside, I find it so fascinating where like you can live in a place for so long and not know what's like on the other street.
So many streets,
And
so many
you,
streets.
until you're walking, you're biking, whatever, until you're there, and then you go, oh wow, this was here, and oh wow, that was there.
So many neighborhoods and so many bike paths that I didn't know existed in LA because we never had a reason. But now, you wander and you meander. It's like, look at that. And it feels like being a tourist in your own city. And also just, being outside and the freedom of a bike, because you feel that childlike wonder because you move fast, and there's this wind, and to increase that is great for your endorphins. It's great for your physical health, and it's great for that sense of novelty. So I really do recommend, if you like biking, you'll love e-biking, and if you don't like biking, try e-biking. Maybe you'll like it.
Right. I'm sure there's a rental place. You can rent one.
Yes, we
try it
we
out.
rented them for the first 2 years, and this was like a commitment of like, you know what? Let's do this for ourselves as a celebration of our marriage, and get healthier in the process.
That's awesome. Love it. So give us take step with us back in time and take us back to young Tasia, right? Like what were you like before the glitz and glamour, before the Hollywood, before the many credits to your name? What were you like before all this?
Well, I was born on a rainy day. No. I'm not going to bore everybody, but I'm a New York City girl. I am born and raised in New York City. Both my parents, my mom was from Brooklyn, my father was from the Bronx into Brooklyn, and they were both actors before they had me. My mother was a singer and an actress, and then my father got practical and opened up a restaurant. So I was born to a restaurateur. So I was a hostess, and I was a waitress, and so I paid my dues. But I was definitely a lover of acting right out of the gate. I probably came out singing "I Gotta Be Me." I was ham from day one. I was just boom. And I have a twin brother named Tor. So that's cool. And he is a wonderful writer, podcaster. Right now he's focusing on solar, and he created this combination of love of teaching people about solar and his writing background. So he's got a wonderful podcast called Mostly True Solar Stories. So I have a twin brother, and I was like bitten by the bug really early. My mom would take me when in my teens to extra work, which is like background work in New York City. And I would do all the school plays and camp plays, and I always got the lead. So it was like kind of like determined to go in that direction. And then I got a movie. I got a movie, like really one of those crazy stories that you hear. I was one of them where I was actually cutting school watching All My Children when I was 16 in junior. And of course, that was the one day I was cutting school. Only one.
Just that one.
One day. And it just happened to be the day that my mom was going down to an open call-in backstage newspaper for a role that they wanted a Latina woman, and she went down there, and I said, hey, well, bring down my picture because maybe there's some extra work. I didn't really understand how it worked. I went to Seduto's Ice Cream to scoop some ice cream, and she called me up and said they wrote the wrong age. There's 30 women down here, and they said they need an ingenue, and I took your picture up and slapped it down, and the casting director wants to see you. So I got on my blackest, thinnest outfit, and I ran down there and I auditioned, and they liked me, and they said, "Look, we're going to fly you out to LA tomorrow, but you'll be back either the next day or 6 weeks from now." And I said, "Oh, great!" I said, "Who's my love interest?" And I said, "Scott Baio," because he was really popular. And no, it's a guy named Sean Penn. I was like, "Oh my gosh, Spicoli from Ridgemont High. Okay, well, that's going to be a challenge." I'm sure if I could be in love with him. So I flew out the next day. I got the part. I didn't go to school for 6 weeks, which was really fun. And that started my acting career. I came back and I was in this movie called Crackers, which again, maybe 2 people or 3 people saw, but Louis Malle directed it. He was a famous French director, and it had Donald Sutherland and Jack Warden and Sean Penn and Wally Shawn and Christina Baranski. Incredible. Donald Sutherland, incredible cast, and me. But it didn't do that well. It was a sleepy little movie based on an Italian movie called Big Deal on Madonna Street. But by the 6 months later, I was then on All My Children. Ironically, I was cutting school out, and look, the craziness. I ended up on All My Children, and I did that for 3 years, playing Dottie Thornton, and that was kind of like my trajectory.
Not to mention an Emmy nomination for, that's
yeah, well, because
nothing
I
to sneeze
cried
at.
well. What can I say? I was a pretty messed up teenager, so it was like easy for me. Little did they know, I was like, they knew, but I was always crying about something. So I was just taking my real life into my acting. But that was a great experience, and it was a great experience too. To be perfectly, transparent, I really was in that, like, I'm a star and my shit doesn't stink. And then I got fired, essentially. I got fired, which is in the soap opera world. You have to sign on for 2 years, but they can let you go every 13 weeks because of storylines. And so they had just re-signed me for 2 years. I only wanted 1 year. They said 2 years. And then like 13, 14 weeks later, they were like, we're going to write you out. So that was like a wonderful, horrible at the time, humility coming of really, like, really getting like, hey, my shit does stink. And this is actually a great opportunity for me to learn the hard way, sadly, that you got to be nice to people on the way up because they'd be nice to you on the way down, be more humble, all the things that fast fame doesn't always teach you. So I had to start all over again. I came out to LA and I had to start waitressing again and scooping ice cream and demonstrating naked juice. And so after being a celebrity on television, I had to go back because I didn't save my money. So, it's the cautionary tale of yes, too much too soon. And I just wanted to share that because I think it can happen. And it was a really valuable lesson that I, to this day, am grateful for because I had a much better step up the right way, as it were, and which made me a stronger, better, more disciplined and more appreciative person.
And I think, all of that is so spot on. And I think just as a lesson for everyone out there, no matter the age or the industry or the experience, whatever, it's that sometimes we have these devastating low points that in the moment you're like, man, life can't get any worse. And I'm on the straight shot down. And like all these negative thoughts and there's no way I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then years later, we look back and go, oh man, I needed that. I needed that to be where I am today and to be as strong as I am.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful, and I wanted to share it for that reason, because if you had asked me at that time and, a good few years later, I would have been, that sucked. That sucked. But I'm very grateful for that because I was not headed in the right path and mentally and emotionally. And I took too much for granted. And it was, again, when you're a teenager getting that so quickly, it's really messes with your head. And I think, of course, that's one of the reasons I call myself a recovering actress and a fully voiceover artist, because you're damaged. I'm damaged goods, but voiceover saved my life. So that was another transition from on camera to voiceover. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but
Oh, we will. We will get
yeah,
into it.
but
Absolutely. But real quick, obviously the reason I asked you to come on too is, we're promoting MGS Con, which as of weeks ago has been sold out, which is phenomenal. What an awesome thing to say that this silly little convention that's just passionate fan base,
fan created convention.
fan created convention that people. I was there in its inaugural year last year,
Yes, you
and
were.
people around the world were coming for this, and
Yes.
like, wow. I mean,
We were all
there's
shocked. I mean, we were all like, this is amazing. And Amanda, shout out to Amanda who created this, and Vanessa who really facilitated it. She is awesome.
absolutely
But I want to say it was a beautiful coming together of so many loving people who wanted to support this effort. And the fact that we're a year later having the MGS Con 2, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
absolutely. So let me ask you, what was, because we're gonna talk about that for a second. We'll take a break for you for a second. I'm gonna let you cool off. What
It's a lot. It was a lot. I was like, oh God. But
what
only a
was
few minutes, because then I want to talk about me again.
right, of course. What was your highlight, your takeaway of the first one, and what are you most looking forward to this second go around?
The highlight, gosh, there were so many moments when we did the panel, and David and Jen appeared, Jennifer Hale. That was awesome because it was a surprise, because they couldn't make it.
Yep.
And then we had the panel and it was full and we were talking, and then boom, it was just so great for the fans to get a chance to see them as well as all of the other ones. So that made me really happy because, of course, it was hard to do it without David because he's Snake, and
He's the
but so it
namesake
was
of the convention.
yeah. So to have him there was a thrill to see the fans get a chance to interact with him and Jennifer Hale. And then I would say meeting the fans was awesome because they were all, when you go to most cons, there's like a smattering here and a smattering there, and they're interested. Everyone was there, and we were all celebrating this one wonderful game and the series and the characters, and so the energy was so electric, because even, right, they would go from my table then to another one, and you could just feel the love. So it was really wonderful to have that concentrated energy of the fans, and it was so and I really loved the intimacy.
Yeah.
I liked that it was
Yeah.
small because it was the same thing. In these big, huge cons, it feels a little frenetic and chaotic, right? And
Yeah.
and to know that everybody was there for that reason, and that you could meet everybody and not feel exhausted by the process, it was really gratifying. So I loved those aspects of it.
Absolutely. And then looking forward to this year. What's the
I
excitement for it?
am looking forward to like just multiplying that, because I think it's still relatively small. I mean, it's still, I think they sold out at 700 or 800
Something
or
like that. Yeah.
so. I'm looking forward to that. And I feel like this year it's going to be just even more grandiose in terms of the artist alley. I mean, they have great artists, and they had great entertainment and cosplay, and it's just going to be just even a more magnified version of what it was, but still really connected and familial. And I know I'm going to see you there, so I feel like it's still like in this burgeoning. I don't know what it'll be in 10 years, but right now it still feels really wonderful, intimate, and celebratory.
Yeah, it's very grassroots, man. It's very guerrilla,
Yes.
which I love, and I mean this in only the best way. Now, your answer was wrong because the correct answer was the best thing about last year was meeting me, and you're most looking forward to spending time with me. But it's
Oh, did
okay.
I not
It's
say
okay.
that? Did
We'll
I
fix
not
it in
say that?
post. We'll fix it in post. We'll fix it in post.
Did I not say that's
Say
the
it
first
too.
thing I meant to say? I think I just telepathically
Right.
meant,
Right.
and I just forgot to come up. Dude, the best thing about last year was meeting you,
There it
and
is.
then everything else I said.
Okay, perfect. See, I'm going to clip that section. That is going on social media. Just me.
I love you. But you know what? That was great. It was just not, it wasn't, truthfully, it wasn't long enough.
It wasn't. It was. You know,
You were busy. You were running around. You
we
were
were
all over the
all
place.
busy. We were all
You were
busy.
all over the place.
It was such a cool experience. And let me say that this is coming from someone who maybe other than you, who does conventions as a career, you know, I go to a lot of conventions. I cover a lot of conventions all across the Northeast, Florida, California, Texas, and they're all great for lots of different reasons, right? We love our New York Comic Con, our San Diego Comic Con. They're massive, they're huge, and they're spectacles in and of themselves. But I think you're so right in that there's something so intimate, so connected in these smaller ones. I do another one called Shore Leave, which is very like Star Wars, very sci-fi, or Star Trek, very sci-fi oriented. And when you get these small pockets of just really, really passionate fan bases, it's
Yes,
something
the passion. Yes.
special.
It
It's
does.
so
It feels,
special.
it does. It feels different. It feels like more like well, because everyone's there for the same reasons, and so the energy rises because it's not dissipated amongst different. Which it all has its place. But you know that I have a Star Trek connection, right?
I mean, I've done my homework. I've done my homework. So
So I always like to say I'm all over the stars. Between
Oh,
Star
man.
Wars, Star Trek. I
You are in
definitely.
all the I think you're missing like Lord of the Rings and like Harry Potter. That's about it. You've been everywhere else pretty much. So we appreciate it. Marvel, DC, all of it across the board. But yeah, so it just very excited. This MGS, obviously David Hayter's going to be there in person. You
Which
got
is going to be like a whole nother level up, and so many more of the actors
Phil
are.
Lamar and a number of incredible actors and voice talent, and I'm through the roof. I think they nailed it so well in the first one, and I'm so excited to see how it grows this year and continues to grow year after
So let me
year.
ask you, because I know you're supposed to be interviewing me, but
Yeah,
tell me and us, because I know some people didn't know, what is the Wounded Warrior connection to MGS Con? Let's hear it.
Oh, okay. Well, oh my God,
Come on, you're on the
I'm
spot.
not
You can do this. You can
prepared.
do this. You can do it, Mike.
No, so it's a great thing. I mean, Wounded Warrior Project is a phenomenal nonprofit organization. I've been a Wounded Warrior since 2005, and I kind of trickled into the organization around 2000. Captured like 2007, but started getting really involved with them in 2009, and have been so blessed. I've been so blessed to. I mean, they've helped shape my life in so many ways. They have incredible programs for employment. Like they gave me, I was a high school kid straight into the military and then dumped out as soon as I got injured. And I didn't know how to write a resume. I didn't know how to apply for jobs. And so they helped me with that. They bought me my first suit, the first suit I ever owned in my life. Because much like
Wow.
you, I grew up a New York City kid. I was inner city, Upper East Side, Spanish Harlem.
Wow.
So I never owned a suit. So they helped me with that. So they got me a great job. They provided me opportunities to reconnect and support groups and just incredible programs. Help my wife and my kid. So it's an incredible organization. And then when I found out, because I had Vanessa on the show,
Vanessa
and
Marshall,
Vanessa
amazing.
Marshall, phenomenal, amazing person, one of my favorite people ever.
Yeah.
And we got to talking, and she mentioned, hey, we're doing this MGS Con. And she brought up the fact that there was a connection. They wanted to do this silent auction and raise money. And it was like a stream they were doing and a bunch of different things. And the money was going to go to Wounded Warrior Project. And I said, oh my God, I love Wounded Warrior Project. It changed my life. It saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I got introduced to Amanda, and we just got to talking. And I said, hey, man, I would love to just come out and support any way I can. And next thing I know, I'm the Wounded Warrior Project ambassador at MGS Con. I feel
Which
like
is
I'm
so
the
cool.
I'm the
So
guy in the
cool. And
parade.
forevermore will be the Wounded Warrior ambassador
It's
at the MGS Con, which is
it's so
super
good.
great. And really is a hats off to you, dear. Ooh, I'm sorry.
Wow, she
Hats
took her
off to
hat off
you.
on me.
Hats off to you, my dear. Yes, I'm not bald. A lot of people think I'm bald because
Yeah.
I always wear a hat.
It's
But-
okay. I am. It's fine. It's
Oh.
fine. It's okay.
Okay, I'm not and you are. I love that. Hats off to you, my dear, that you reached out and said I wanted to be part of this and to continue the awareness of this incredible program, because again, it's all through awareness that it can grow. So I think that it's wonderful that you participate, and we, make it a strong point, and that you're the guy. So good on you. Good on
Enough
you.
about me, though. We're not
All
here
right,
to toot
wow.
my horn. Uh,
You deserve it.
speaking of it, I love the fact that we've talked about what you anticipate. Since this is going to air afterwards, me and you, we're definitely going to shoot something at the convention, and I want to tack it on to the very
Cool.
end of this interview. So stay tuned, people watching right now, because at the end
Thank
of this,
you.
we're gonna do a little time jump, and we'll be all
Sniper
sweaty.
Wolf is going to be sharing some information.
There you
I've
go.
got you in my sights.
I love it. I love it. It's so easy. It's so you make it seem so easy. That's the thing.
I like what you said. You make it seem so easy. It's
You
like
make it
30
seem.
years in.
You were an overnight success, a 30-year overnight success. So one last question about just conventions in general, because you had mentioned something to me, and it made me curious. Is there anything, obviously a lot of people will come up to you, oh my God, I love your work, I love this, I love that, and I'd like to give you a gift. Like, is there anything that you were ever given a gift that just kind of blew you away from a fan at a convention?
Oh, that's so sweet. Gosh, I've met so many wonderful fans. And I don't do as many conventions as I would like, because I was not able to, but I'm hoping to do more of it now that my kids are out of the house. I'm like, yes. Uh, I've gotten some really wonderful images, like, different versions of my characters, and just the little gifts that I've had that I bring home, and I put them in a category of Sniper Wolf and, Poison Ivy. And people are so generous at conventions where, they're asking you to sign, but a lot of times they want to give you something that they've made homemade. And I feel like I don't have my collection on my brain, but I really, really appreciate when people make me a little gift, tchotchke, as it were, of the character, and say that it meant a lot to them at different times in their lives. So yeah, I don't have a story but I definitely have a little box of all my gifts from there. And I love fans that are just so open and genuine, and really just want to connect and say, it's such a gift to have someone tell you a story that you had no idea might have occurred by something you did or something you said, even as a character. And that we know that it's really very little to do with us, because it's the writers and it's everybody else, and then we get the credit, but it shouldn't be, but it is still very meaningful, and makes what we do for a living feel more important than what it really is, which is just lending your voice to wonderful
Oh,
cartoons. It
on
makes
the
it feel like it's more
contrary,
impactful,
I'm
right?
going to disagree with you. I think it's incredibly important. I think, you never know, for you, what's a day in the office, right? Getting behind the mic, laying down some tracks. But the people on the receiving end are sometimes in the worst situations, and this is their escape. Or I can think of movies and TV shows that I love that I took on deployments with me to combat.
Mhm,
So when I'm
mhm.
having the worst day, I'm putting on my favorite episodes of The Office or whatever it is, and it's important. And you never, I'm sure you never realize until you get those interactions, just how important and how you connect with other in these people's lives. And I think it's so amazing. And the fact that someone is gonna go, oh my God, you're a celebrity, you're a big deal. And I all I can do is I made this thing, and this is all I can give, but this is just my way of saying I love you, thank you for what you've done. It's such a cool thing. I
It is.
love it.
It's a humbling thing, because again, we don't really realize that, we've made that. And maybe, the word is impact. Like,
Mm,
we made an impact in someone's lives that we didn't know, and they can tell us a story, and it makes your heart, feel like so full, because you touched another person, you touched them, and they let you know it. And that's really, at the end of the day, what I believe we're all meant to do on this planet, is to love
absolutely.
and touch one another in a positive way, and leave the world a little bit better for going in, and when we leave.
Mm. I love it. And see, and the comedian me was like, look, you touch so appropriately touch people.
Yes,
But I didn't want to.
absolutely.
I didn't want to
Completely,
step on your
completely.
line.
Yeah, you got to be very careful nowadays, right? That can be taken out of context, and now I'm in trouble.
I tell you. So I mean, you've had such an extensive career on screen, in front of the camera, as well as the voice acting. I'm always curious because how do those two very different things differ, and kind of how do they also complement each other when you're performing?
Good question. Well, definitely, I feel like my on-camera career helped me to be a better voice actor as opposed to voice artist because I was already an actress. And although I have to say, when I went into voice acting, I was joked that I was calling around. My mother told me, my wonderful mother who got me into acting, also told me I should do voiceovers, and then I had to take classes. But the first time I called an agent and someone gave me the name, I was like, "Hi, my name is Tasia Valenza, Emmy nominated voice actress from All My Children, and I'm like an agent, And she said, "Oh, great, great. Here's the number." I was like, "Oh, is it for another agent?" And he said, "No, it's for voice acting classes, which you need because it's a craft and it's its own thing." And I was like, "Really? But did you hear my voice? It's Tasia Valenza." So anyway, I had to go and
I
take
love it.
classes for 2 years, make my first crappy demo. And then, once I signed on with an agent, it took me 6 months to get my first job. So I always like to share that story too, because it was probably like 3 to 4 years by the time I said, "I'd like to be a voiceover actor," before I booked my first job. And I thought I had a really cool pedigree.
Of course.
But it wasn't, it still was its own thing. Now, from that though, once I did get into it, the acting, just the ability to jump into a character, to understand, emotions, how they're feeling, especially when it came to animation, because that was like just at the beginning of video games. I'm really old and show some of these where I don't know if anyone knows, but I'm gonna throw out Leisure Suit Larry. Anybody? I know Annette Boning from Leisure Suit Larry. So I mean, I was starting to play these characters that were kind of rudimentary, and the beginning of video games really getting bigger, but it was so much fun, and I loved being able to jump into voice acting. And this is probably a good time to segue into, what's the hat about, Tasia? Why do you always wear a hat? I'm glad you asked.
I'm very good at this.
You don't even have to interview. You don't even have to speak. I'll just, you just throw it in me. But I was always told so many times as an actress, they liked you, but you weren't tall enough, thin enough, blonde enough. There was always that but. And so with voice acting, it was like we get to be unleashed from the box that society puts us into, and the acting puts you into, because it's important to look what people have the idea of the role. So, I made my first like emblem, this, because it all became about the mouth, the voice, what can be done. And all of this got to disappear. So that was really fun, because there were so many roles that I got to play as a voiceover actor that I was totally, ousted as on camera, because I just, they didn't buy me, or, all those extra elements of the visual that kept us from being able to do things that we could do with our voices. So the on camera was great because it taught me to be a really great actor and play different roles. And then the freedom of not being relegated to a body has always been like my passion for voiceover, because it really it unleashes the imagination and our creative juices. And I'm sure you've met so many voiceover actors that they get to play a myriad of pieces. So it's wonderful that you get both sides. But the acting, and nowadays they want actors more than voiceover actors. It's kind of swung the other way. They would prefer you to have no voice acting experience and be an actor, and just, so it's an interesting cycle that we are in that area. So luckily, I still feel it's been helpful that I have the acting background, but it is an interesting time that, natural, and actors. So Is that too much information? I think so.
No, not at all. I love the realism. I love the look. This is the good stuff, but this is the real stuff. This is the bad stuff. This is the true stuff. This is the stuff you don't hear about and see about and talk about. And I love that. That's what I'm all about. I love that you mentioned, this idea of like, oh, I want to be a voice actor. Well, I just call up a thing and I audition, I get a job, and I'm a voice actor. And it's like, there's so much more to it. There's so much more to it. I've had so many people come up to me and they're like, oh, this guy and that guy. Like, have them put a call in for me. I've got a great voice. I'm like, that's not how it works.
Yeah, you got a great voice, Mike. You got great. You could definitely throw yourself in the.
So next month, you're gonna get me a gig, right?
That's right. I got a friend who knows a friend who knows a friend, and you're in. You're in.
There's so much that goes into it. I mean, it's.
And this was 25 years ago. That. So it's even harder now just because, I mean, in one way it's easier because we're definitely, you're not relegated to New York, Chicago, LA.
Right.
So there's much more opportunity, but I used to say it was a lottery of like 100 tickets, like for the concentrated group that we were in. And now it's a lottery of 50,000, and social media is part of it now. So it's not just about who you are, but how many followers you have, because it helps with the advertising. This is all part of it that, I've seen over the period of years. And, I at first I was fighting. I was like, well, what is this hashtag? It looks like a pound sign. What, and I was so late to Twitter. I was like, this is silly. This is silly. And then of course, once I was on there, I was like, oh, this is fun. This is fun. but it literally has changed the game for the better and, in some ways for the worse.
Sure. I mean, obviously, and I don't want to sidetrack us off you, but I mean, what with the writer strike and the actor strike and all these things that were happening and fighting, because for as much good as social media will do and technology will do, there are those that are going like, ooh, I don't have to pay people to do this anymore. I can get AI to do it. I can get, this or that. I can hire some kid from Pakistan to write a script. And so I think you hit the nail on the head in that it opens the doors for, little old Mary from Idaho can get seen on social media and they're like, oh my God, you've got the look or you've got the sound, and give them that opportunity. But then that also means there's 5 million people with opportunities.
It's changed. It's definitely changed. So it's, but it's like anything, we got to adapt. And, I feel very lucky to have I'm still in the game after all these years, but it's something I don't take for granted. And also, I've been teaching as well. So that's, you have to kind of figure out how to branch out. I know Vanessa's been doing a lot of us are doing many, many things. Lori Allen, I mean, there's great talents, and on camera, and as an actor, you have to be nimble and you have to be creative and you have to continue to reinvent yourself.
Absolutely. And I think as because you're basically an entity in of yourself. You are a business. You are a brand of yourself. And you go, okay, well, any brand, look at Blockbuster. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't evolve.
Blockbuster. That was my first commercial I ever booked, was a Blockbuster. So that's funny that you
did my research.
People might say, "What is Blockbuster?" What is
exactly? But that's the thing. If you as a brand don't evolve and branch out and change and adapt, you go the way of the dodo. You're out of there. So
absolutely.
I'm all for, obviously we've seen a lot of, comedians and actors and celebrities who start a podcast and a clothing brand and we got the Rocks, whatever it is, tequila or whatever it is. And, and I get it. It's like awesome, man. Anyway, because we all know it could be gone, like this. And so to be able to support yourself outside of that, I think is an incredible thing. And you have such a wealth of knowledge and experience to be able to teach the next generation and like look, this is what I learned. It's amazing.
It is another way to give back and say, look, this is what I have learned, and this is something that and I believe every teacher is a wonderful way to put another tool in your toolbox. So, what I offer is different than from what a teacher offers, and it's just something that if you make your own system, you just like, I like that part of that teacher, I like that part, and then it becomes your own method. So I think teaching is a wonderful way to extend our careers and express our creativity, and also give back, like, hey, this is what works for me, see if it works for you. I always try to bring a lot of joy to my teaching and make it very childlike and fun, because the last thing I want to do is make someone feel intimidated by the process, because I kind of grew up doing it more from instinct and learning on the job than I did because I started so young. And I think there's a lot of joy in that and power to that, like not thinking too much in your head, because we get too much in our heads. So my whole platform is this Give Great Voice platform, which is really about, taking the parts of you and all the roles that we have inside of us, from podcasting to wounded warrior ambassador to husband to father to friend to pop culture icon, to and channeling that into our characters. So that's how I teach that. We have a multitude of parts of ourselves, a multidimensional parts of ourselves, and sometimes we just have to realize that and access and channel those pieces to play characters that we might not think that we have anything in common with.
Right. Well, you convinced me. I'll be taking your classes. Guys, you can see me in the next big, I don't know, Call of Duty or
there you are.
Metal
There
Gear
you are.
7. I'll be
You
appearing.
you definitely should. Have you? I like to call it. Have you dipped your lip into a class ever?
I mean, we'll talk offline.
All right. But
But
I do. I recommend everybody to have the experience, even if they don't want to be a voiceover artist. The nice thing about online classes now is that you can also, again, get to a class. I haven't taught in a while, but I do teach from a wonderful portal, Real Voice LA, and they have great classes that are online. I know they have in person now, and but you can have the experience of just playing and seeing how it informs your ability to do whatever you do in real life with a little bit more joy, a little bit more confidence. So I recommend it to everybody, even if you don't want to be a voiceover artist. Take a voiceover class. It's like, or an improv class, something that helps you to feel more confident and give great voice, which is what I like to say, because that means to be able to move, touch, and impact with your voice.
outstanding. And we've been talking for 45 minutes, and we haven't even talked about your characters. I mean, that's like, don't get, I'm enjoying the hell out of this, but we got a spotlight.
I'm sure someone's going to be sleeping by now. So I'm sorry. Wake up, guys. Wake up. We're getting to the good stuff.
Not my audience. They are like face pressed to the glass right now. Okay.
I hope so.
You have voiced so many truly iconic characters in shows and video games. We got it because of MGS Con coming up. It's the first one on my mind. But let's talk about Sniper Wolf for a second. The original Metal Gear Solid. That character is something that's unique to me, because it's one of the few characters that doesn't get a lot of screen time, doesn't get a lot of character development and an arc and these things, yet is still one of the most talked about characters, is still a character that people, for some reason, are so connected with, and has had a legacy far beyond, her one little appearance. What is it about that character that you think resonated so deeply with fans?
That's a great question. I would say, and again, just like, I played the role and I didn't get to see my work as Sniper Wolf until, I don't know, 10 years later on YouTube. And the death scene. And when I saw the death scene, I was like, this is so sad. This is awful. This is so painful. And so it was one of those things of like, because I think what they did so brilliantly for many of the characters, and they continue to do, is give them three dimensions, or war, that, a sniper, boom, 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 which was so many of the video games, that you had no connection to their humanity.
Yeah.
Once you find out why they do what they do, especially for her situation, you're so moved by the pain of their own suffering that you can at least have empathy, or not even empathy, sympathy, but you can feel the pain. And I think that's, again, very relevant for vets and people that have gone through traumatic experiences and are fighting to stay alive in their minds. So I think that she represented that she seemed like she was this, snarky, killer. And then all of a sudden you find out her very traumatic story, and you felt for her. You felt, what I've heard from many fans is they felt so bad about killing her. They killed her, but they felt bad
you
about
gotta
it.
do it. You gotta
Right.
do it.
But they had an emotional response,
Yeah.
which they had not. So that's my thought, that she evoked that. And certainly when I saw that scene, I was incredibly moved, because I and the music and David's character. I mean, it was so beautifully conveyed. It was really like watching a movie, and investing in a character that you thought was one thing and then realized was another, and you just felt much more compassion for her.
And I have to say too that I played it when the first game came out, and that was at a time, for as far as technologically advanced as it was for its time. I mean, it's still a polygon mess. Like, it's a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
flat surface. And what wows me about that game, and all of you incredible people that voiced it, I in my memory, it was as if watching a movie. And like you
Oh.
look back at it now, and it's basically
I
like
know.
posters just moving around. But you guys gave it such life through the voices. And it was such at times it was outlandish and cartoony, but it felt like it was taken seriously. That's what it
Right.
felt like. That
No,
there was seriousness
we
behind it.
did such a great job with it, and the writing and the storylines. It was fantastic, and seems to be one of those games that changed the course of video games forever. Uh, and hats off again. But it was, as an actor, really wonderful to play. But I didn't really see the result until years later, because I wasn't on, I don't even know if there was social media back then,
Right.
and there wasn't. And then by the time there was, I was on to other things, and then
Sure.
I found out, like, oh, you can see this. And David was one of the ones who said, this game is huge. And I said, really? It is? He said, yeah, it's huge. And I said, cool. And he goes, you want to watch the? I said, really? How do I see that? What's YouTube? Okay, I'll go. I know it's hard to like imagine it, but remember way back in the day that, there was we didn't take all of this, all that we're doing right now. This was the Jetsons. And, we didn't, I grew up with the Jetsons, and you could see the face. I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy that you could see the telephone call and there's a face. So, we take it, what we take for granted. We
Absolutely.
couldn't back then. So it was phenomenal to be able to see it. And then having this resurgence now with a whole new group of fans because of MGS3, and the reworking of it and the remastering of it. It's just really, really wonderful to grow with the franchise, and to see more people connected to it, and why it was so special.
Yeah, that was actually one of my questions, was just that, did you think, and we're not going to age anyone here. So
Too late.
sometime after the game came out originally, here we are years later, still talking about it, and still talking about your performance and David's performance and all these people. Christopher Randolph was incredible as
Yeah,
Hal
and
Emmerich.
Chris Zimmerman, shout out to the director, Chris
I mean,
Zimmerman, who did such a
it's
phenomenal job of voice directing. And
incredible. Like, did you ever in your wildest dreams think that this character, this series, would still be as mainstream, as popular, if not more so today than back then?
no, I mean, that we didn't know anything back then. That was the whole thing. And we're actors. We go on like, okay, here's a role, and then and back then, for a long time, you didn't find out much about it in that way, because you were just on. You weren't. There was no any portals, unless the game sold so much and somebody said, "Hey, I love your game," but we didn't have social media to tell us that this was going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, because it was going to get to more people, and more people were going to have access to the dimensions of it. So yeah, it was definitely a surprise, a wonderful surprise. And what can I say? I'm so grateful, because as actors, I know we love to be loved. So, bring it on.
Do you look back
Bring it
and
on.
do you look back and be like, man, I wish they didn't kill Sniper Wolf. She could have been in
Oh,
2
every day.
and 3 and 4.
Every day. Hello. I'm miserable about it. I was like, damn. I have to say, this is like another one of those offshoots, but I have been killed in so many of the things as characters I've played on camera. I have died as Shaq T. I have died as I just died recently in the Bad Batch as the governor Tawny Ames. I get killed off a lot.
Poison
So
Ivy, I think, right?
I
Didn't she die
Poison
in
Ivy.
one of the games? Yeah.
Arkham Knight. So I'm kind of used to it, but like I don't understand the karmic thing about it, and I'm hoping that it's just for my characters, because I get killed off.
Well, you know what? Some people are just good at what they do. They
Yeah,
have
maybe
a
I'm just
niche.
really good at 20-minute monologue, and then
God.
I'm dying, but no, let me tell you one more thing.
One last thing, and then die.
That actually is one of the funny things about that, the Sniper Wolf monologue. It goes on a long time.
Well, people don't realize how long it takes you to bleed out. That's the thing.
That's right.
It's just
Well,
the
see,
average person,
You would know that better than I. I don't know. Like, we probably don't want to go down that
We'll
path,
talk
but
about that later. Yeah, it's a real thing. But again, we're running short on time, and I don't want to hold you long. But Poison Ivy, another one that your voice has almost become synonymous with Poison Ivy. I mean, I checked the IMDb page. You've done the character for like 10 different projects. The Arkham series, and was it like the Lego series, and a bunch of other things. What is it about your voice that you think people are like, oh yeah, Poison Ivy, like that? What is it that you bring to that character that's so different, that's so interesting for that character?
well, it's the Tasia effect. It's all I can say, Mike. I don't want to. I don't want to boast, because it's really not my thing.
Mm.
No,
Perfect.
you know what? There have been so many great. I mean, no, I know that there have been so many great actresses playing it, and for me, it's like anything. It's like anytime you get to play some character that's iconic, I'm fangirling myself. So, if I could say anything, I would like to think once again that, and it's not. I do believe so much of it has to be the credit of the writing, because I can bring that sensual sound and be but the fact that she has more going, and she ended up being a shiro in Arkham Knight, is that it brings other elements than just the seductress. Like, why is she a seductress? Because she's trying to save her plants, and this is the way she kills her foes that are harming her plants. So the seduction isn't just because she's seductive and she's drawn that way. That's one dimensional. She's seductive because she's a mama bear, mama plant, and she needs to take care of her babies and protect. She's Mother Nature. So I'd like to think that I bring that through the character, and it shows up in her voice, but also shows that she's not just the one dimensional, and that she's got reasons for what she does, and that you can hear the pain in her voice when she's talking about the trees that have been killed, and how important it is to save the planet and ultimately sacrifice yourself for it.
And I think, and by no means let me mansplain you the character, but I do think too there's elements of Mother Nature is beautiful and dangerous, right? It's
Very
something
much.
gorgeous can be deadly. I think there's the psychological of, she knows how to use her charms, her femininity, to be a weapon. She's using it as a tool to get to these people. So there's so many layers to her, and I love that character. I think you did her beautifully. Again, just a testament to how great of an actress you are that they had to kill you. You know, 'cause you're too good. You're too good
There's
as an
something.
actress.
Do you see the through line here? That I'm there's something Sniper Wolf, Jack D, Boys.
I promise you won't die at the end of this episode. I promise.
Thank
We're
you.
not going to kill you off.
Thank you. I let me live, please. Let me live.
I mean, again, and we don't have enough time to talk about all the amazing voices you've done and characters you've done, but you've also done numerous characters in the Star Wars universe. What was that experience like? Were you big into the kind of the story before getting involved, or was it just kind of like, oh, here's another gig and I'm just gonna knock it out?
Oh, I was a huge Star Wars fan because of, just the age that we got to see the first movie was, life-changing, altering. So, yeah, I mean, I was so thrilled to be, and not just in the Star Wars universe, but a Jedi. What? Come on. I will never be that cool. So, yeah, it was pretty awesome to be able to play someone much wiser and cooler than I am. Ask my husband. But it was a thrill. And actually, in video games, I played some of the other characters too that were from different aspects. But Shakti was definitely the first, like, wow, I am getting to play a Jedi. So that was tremendous. And then to play Vanessa Doza, who was the first mom badass warrior, was phenomenal. That was in the series. Not there. Oh, gosh, like my brain is like on.
I have it. I have it here somewhere. I know I kept it in my notes because I know you've done Star Wars Resistance. I think that was
it. Star Wars Resistance.
Bad
That was
Batch.
it. I was going to say Rebels, but that was Vanessa. There's so many R's. Star Wars Resistance was a wonderful show that I got to play this great character, this wonderful, strong, powerful woman who was a warrior, but also a mom. So that was really cool. And then recently I got to be in the Bad Batch, which was phenomenal. What an iconic series that is. And Governor Tawny Ames, who was fierce and killed. Vanessa Doza wasn't, so the show was canceled, but she lives on. So
when you need a woman killed, you know who to call.
Thank you. But
and there's also the Star Wars Old Republic. You had multiple appearances in that as well.
Kaleo DeJanis, she is a feisty, fun character that I love playing because I just think of her as, she is a ballsy ass, like more of the, the Han Solo kind of a character where she's in control all the time and just a witty, but she's definitely cheeky and fun and a different character that I got to play. And she didn't get killed off either. So yeah, I
had a couple.
Thank you for reminding me. Let's hear for Kaleo and Star Wars: The Old Republic because she's a fun companion.
Yeah, and just so people understand the breadth, I mean, games like the Elder Scrolls, the Ben 10 video game. I'm looking through like the gamut, obviously anytime Poison Ivy appears, so like Injustice and all these games, Lego Dimensions, World of Warcraft. I mean, I saw on there a game that I loved when I growing up. Sorry to say it like that, but what was it Crimson Tide? It was
Crimson Tide. You played that game. You were the one.
Absolutely. Let me say, I played it way longer than I should have, honestly.
Wow. See, now nobody ever talks about Crimson Tide. So I always love it when a fan will come out of the woodwork and say they saw me in something or they love my game. And I was like, really? That's so cool. Because
wait, I was in that?
Yeah, it actually sometimes is. And I have to go back to my IMDb. I'm like, oh, check it out. Look at that.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, when you're like, oh, yeah, I remember you in Duckman. And you're like, wait, what?
That was one of my favorite roles because I got to play
Bernice.
a femme fatale in an animated series, but I was on camera because it was a fantasy that the character was having. So I got to play like a farcical femme fatale. So that was actually cool because I was doing more animation at that time, but I got to go back on camera and play that. So
There you
definitely.
go. I mean, I was looking through, and we're gonna wrap it up here because I've kept you long enough. But I loved looking through your kind of your history, and I saw you had done an episode of Batman the Animated Series well before Poison Ivy. So it
Yep.
was such a cool thing to see, like kind of coming back.
Yes, that's
going
it's fun to
from
come back in a different iteration and a different way. I mean, even with Star
exactly
Trek, where I got to play
Star
a
Trek.
Vulcan to Sonic
Absolutely.
in coming of age, and then on Star Trek Discovery, I got to be the computer of the
Mhm.
Shenzhou, which, by the way, got blown up. Got blown up. And when I found out at the third episode when I was filming, doing voiceover, I was like, "What do you mean the ship gets blown up?" He was like, "Oh, it's going to be the Star Trek Discovery." I said, "Well, can't the computer go forward?"
Yeah, just put it on like a little
No.
thing and then plug it into the
So
other one.
so I will point out that my computer got killed.
Mm.
So I'm not joking when I say that I get offed a lot, even as a computer.
I mean, hey, when you're
What?
good at it, get use it.
There you go.
Yeah, oh
Well,
man, there's a famous saying. It's like whatever you're good at, make sure you get paid to do it, or something like that.
right.
Where
Well, I get paid to die well, I mean, it's humorous, but you got to see there is a pattern.
there's a pattern. There's a pattern. But well, you play some really good badasses
Thank you.
who they can't survive because they're just too awesome.
They're too. Oh, I
So
love
they
how
got to
you
get
frame
wiped off
that.
the
It's
board.
just
You know,
leave them. Isn't there the saying, "Leave them wanting more"?
leave them wanting more. Exactly. And that's that. I think in the case of Sniper Wolf, I mean, I still see people the cosplays and everything. I'm like,
Oh gosh,
that's
the
wow.
ones
That's a
they're
testament to an incredible
amazing.
character for sure. I want to give you the last few minutes here. Promote anything you'd like to promote. Tell people, what's your social media? How can they follow you? How can they support you? How can they reach out to you?
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, I'm pretty much Tasia Valenza everywhere. On Instagram, Twitter, and I'm on TikTok. I don't do a lot on TikTok, but Instagram and on Twitter and Facebook. And basically, if anyone wants to follow me, I do like to give voiceover tips and help people give great voice. I do have a wonderful TED talk that I love sharing because it really is my version of how we can translate being a voiceover actor in your own life so you can use the tools to play your personal and professional roles more successfully, because I think our voices just like this are the most powerful, impactfully, emotionally connected ways to share ourselves as opposed to our digits and texting and writing. So I'm big into that. So that's a TED talk you can watch for free. And I'm also into self-affirmation,
Okay.
because to give great voice, we have to start with ourselves. So on my website, Tasia Valenza, you can find affirmation meditations that I made that are completely free, and you can listen to them, and they're all about, they're 10 minutes, and it's just a nice way to take a moment out for oneself and to practice saying what's very hard for a lot of people to say, is that I love myself and I believe in myself and I am wonderful, without thinking that it's cocky or arrogant or.
Sure.
So I'm a big proponent of practicing self-love because it's not easy for everyone, and I think we're trained mostly to think that that is arrogant, and I think if we could reframe that if you fill that cup with your own self-love, you have so much more bandwidth for others. And certainly with vets, what they have gone through and given of themselves to their country, they absolutely should be replenishing that supply. And it's wonderful through other people, but no more important than yourself. And I think the voice, not just thinking it and seeing it, but to say it out loud is a really good thing, because the most important voice you will ever hear is your own.
Oh God, I need to clip that, and that's gonna be my daily affirmation right there. That was beautiful, well said. I will link to the site because I think it's incredible. I think more people need that. I think we'll be nicer to each other if we're first nicer to ourselves. And
100%.
I thank you for all your compliments because I've always hated the sound of my voice. So
Oh, you have a wonderful
I
voice. It's wonderful and energetic and fun and feisty, and you're just no, take it. Oh, and wait, we're going to show the audience. Thank you, Tasia. I received that.
Thank you, Tasia. I received that. I have a great voice. I have a unique voice. I'm good.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
not to mention, it's just your energy behind it. That's what I teach with Give Great Voice. Because if you said to me, or I said to you when you got on, "Hi, Mike, it's really great to be here. I'm so excited."
Yeah.
Would you believe me? I
Yeah.
mean, that's
You're
the thing
right.
is like you bring such fun and energy and appreciation and levity that to me is what I want to tell people is what connects to the heart. I mean, if it's what is a perfect voice nowadays, right? It's not even like there is no perfect voice, and we can't all sound like Morgan Freeman. But bottom line is, it's really the energy that you bring to your voice to stay connected that really touches the heart. And I want to say you do a fantastic job with that. And I want other people to know that their voice doesn't have to be perfect, but to have their beauty and their love and their kindness and their confidence to know that their voices matter is
Absolutely.
more important than the sound of it.
We all bring something special and unique, our own experiences and everything. And I couldn't agree with you more. I'm gonna give you the last few seconds here to say goodbye to our wonderful audience and just all the vets out there, all the military out there, and then we'll let you go.
Great. Well, I think I've said enough, but I will just say thank you so much for your hearts and your souls and your loyalty and your dedication and your service and your courageousness, because really we are so blessed to have people that will give themselves of themselves for our country and for people. And I don't take it for granted because I feel like where would we be without you? So thank you. Thank you. And please know how valuable you are as individuals and feel confident to start doing that for yourself, because one of my favorite sayings is whatever you say after I am or I have with consistency and conviction tells your future. So what do you want your future to be? You deserve the best.
Mm, 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 Beautiful. Outstanding. We can't do it any better than that. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the incredible Tasia Valenza. Follow her, like her, support her. Go back, buy Metal Gear Solid.
Go wild again.
Everybody, I can't hear over the raucous applause and it's
Crazy.
so loud.
Oh, no more, please. Please, I can't take it. I can't take it.
We love it. Thank you so much. This isn't the last time you've seen her because we're definitely going to bring her back in the future.
Oh, thank you.
we
It's been
can
a
dive into
wonderful. It's
so
been a
much more.
pleasure to be with you, and thank you for letting me give great voice today.
Awesome, guys. All right, we're going to say goodbye to our guests, and we'll be back with more show right after this. Hey, boys and girls, we're back. What's up, Angry Elf? How you doing, man?
Yes,
How
I'm
awesome!
here.
How awesome was Tasia
Awesome.
Valenza?
Dude,
Is she
when
great?
she mentioned Super Carrier, I was like, I don't know, like 10 when Super Carrier came out? Man, make me feel old.
I mean, are we not though? Are we not though?
Yeah, I know.
Thank you for everybody who hung out and watched. Dude, Tasia is just a wonderful human being, so positive, so
Yes.
full of life and energy. Really enjoyed our conversation, and then again to getting to talk to her at the convention and hang out with her. It's so wild to me because when we had pre-recorded that, when we had shot that, we were like, oh, we'll shoot some video at the convention, and then I'll bookend it at the back as like a nice little like toss it from me to like future me. And so we were at the convention and we were just chit chatting about it, and like by the end of the day, you were just wiped out. You're just wiped out.
Yeah.
It had been a full day, hundreds, if not thousands, of people. And she's like, "Do you want to?" And she was so sweet about it too. She's like, "So you want to shoot that stuff?" And I was like, "Honestly, I'm wiped out, and I talked to a lot less people than you did, so I can imagine you're wiped out." And she's like, it's just part of the gig." And I said, "No, it's fine. We've had a long day. It's, I had already gotten you for an hour in the interview. It's fine." But she was so sweet. We took some pictures together and then posted that. But God bless, love Tasia Valenza. She's awesome, and we have lots more people coming up. Which, real quick, I wanted to touch on this story just because it kind of tied into our earlier discussion of Deadpool and Wolverine. Obviously, I mean, it's breaking records, right? I mean, it's already like biggest R-rated opening ever. Biggest R-rated whatever the hell over the weekend. It's like, and then like
Over 800 million?
yeah, it's already over 800 million, so it's gonna hit $1 billion easily. And then it broke every record of like the Monday record, the Tuesday record, the Wednesday record, the Thursday record, the Friday record. Every record for an R-rated movie. It surpassed The Passion of the Christ, which was like one of the longest reigning R-rated movies ever. It's surpassed that. And at this point, if it can break the $1 billion, only one R-rated movie has ever broke $1 billion. Can you guess which one it is?
Jason versus Freddy?
No, Joker with
Oh, that's right.
Joaquin Phoenix is Joker movie. So it's interesting is because if this does break that record, we're only a month and a half, 2 months away from Joker 2, and I wonder if it lives up to the hype. I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of people are. I don't know. I'm a little. Have you seen the trailer for Joker 2? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get the same. Yeah.
I don't know. And for me, I'm fine with people taking creative interpretations of characters and things and giving them backstories. I mean, that's what they did. I mean, with the Joker over time. I mean, right? You had the Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson Joker. You had Heath Ledger's Joker. You had Jared Leto's Joker, which is that's a whole thing.
Talk about. Yeah.
So you've had, and then obviously this guy's Joker. But my thing is, the director, what's his name, Todd Phillips, came out and said like this version of the Joker is not the comics version of the Joker. Like he's never going to be the prince, like the clown prince of crime. He's never going to wear the suit the way he does. He's never going to fight Batman. This is a different kind of Joker, which I'm like, then why does he have to be the Joker at all?
Yeah, exactly.
This could be just some guy. Is Arthur Fleck the guy? Instead of like Arthur Fleck the Joker. Like, it's weird to me to use an established property. Like, okay, like I'm gonna make a Batman movie, but it's not Bruce Wayne, and it's about a guy who gets bit by a bat. He doesn't fight crime. He ends up dying of rabies. But it's called Batman.
Yeah.
It's set in Gotham. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, why you have to, like, I don't know. It's just weird to me. Like, it's fine. I'm whatever. It's weird. It's just weird.
It's like the conversation I had with my daughter today. And it was a long rant about how DC/Warner Brothers has had the rights to the Justice League since forever, but they waited until after Marvel did the Avengers to do a rush job where in an alternate reality, we had a Michael Keaton and Christopher Reeves Batman and Superman movie. And, you know, like they had no limitations other than what's up here to do it. I would have, God, can you imagine a Michael Keaton and Christopher Reeves Superman movie? Superman Batman movie?
World finest.
Yeah, exactly. In 1990, for instead of getting Val Kilmer as Batman, we got that movie before Christopher Reeves had his unfortunate accident. My God, he could have changed the world. It could have sued world peace. We could have been in a world where everybody's like Shangri-La, la la
Do,
la
do you
la.
think we
But
are not
no,
on the sacred timeline? Do you think we're not on the sacred timeline? Maybe that's on the sacred timeline. That there's
no,
a.
we're not on the sacred timeline. Are you kidding me? We're so far from the sacred timeline. Like I'm waiting for a TVA person to pop up right there to purge me right now.
Send me
No
to the
co-host.
void. So speaking of Deadpool and Wolverine, I just found this as a fascinating story.
Yeah.
So obviously, Deadpool, the character, gets drawn by Rob Liefeld and introduced in the
Mhm.
comic New Mutants way back in the what was it, 80s, late 80s, early 90s, where they
No,
introduced
it was 90. God
95,
dang it! You're gonna make me do this. It's
somewhere
like
in there.
90. All I know is in it. Deadpool appeared in New Mutants 98.
Yeah. So
Damn it! I got to go to the
anyway,
Google machine.
yes, you do that. Do something as a co-host. So anyway, I bring it up only because of this. Heritage Auctions is
Yes.
offering for sale the original pencil and inked artwork of the cover of New Mutants 98. So that first appearance of Deadpool, the cover, the original pencil and ink is available for sale, right? It's a perfect timing. Talk about perfect timing. Can you guess what the starting price is for the, and it's basically the size of a poster, because for the people that don't know, they don't draw the size of a comic book. They draw it on a giant
At least back in the
poster.
day, they didn't.
Yeah, the old days. You draw it on a giant poster and it's scanned and shrunk down. But this original, the ink and pencil original of the cover of New Mutants 98 with the first appearance of Deadpool. Guess. Go ahead. Give me a guess. Give
From
me
the
a
year
guess.
1991, I guess 1995.
The amount of money, the asking price, the starting price. Charles says 2 million. You're not even close. $7.5 million is the
Well, I got that in my
starting
pocket
price.
right now. I can order the. Hey, I got it right here. Not a problem.
If it sells at
Yes.
that price or higher, the cover of New Mutants 98 would become the single most valuable piece of original comic book art ever sold. Like, think about that for a second. All the comic book art out there. Obviously, probably people don't even know where the original, like, Superman and the original
They
Batman
probably
and
ended up in
Spider-Man.
dumpsters.
Yeah,
Honestly.
they were thrown away probably. They were considered garbage
Yeah.
back then. So this marks the first time in nearly 2 decades that specific historic cover has been offered for sale. The owner acquired it. The guy that has it right now acquired that piece almost 2 decades ago. And in the time that it's been in his possession, he has received and refused numerous offers for it. But given the runaway success of Deadpool Wolverine, which, like we said, is well over 800 million and counting, it's a global smash. I guess the guy figured, you know what? This is the time to put it for sale. So he's approached Heritage
Of course he did.
Auctions.
Of course he did.
I mean, what better time? What better time to sell it? I don't know, but $7.5 million for a piece of paper. And I mean, granted, it's the first ever and the original art for Deadpool, but $7.5 million.
And you
Let's be
have it,
real.
and you're giving it away next episode, right?
And here it is. Let me just reach off. I should have
I wish.
like a GIF.
I only wish.
Like I have a green screen. Like, look, I'm holding it. It's like a green screen image. It's right here, balanced on my hand. I'm just balancing it. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Dude, that would be the giveaway for all giveaways.
Jesus Christ, are you kidding me? My God, I just
Yeah.
give me the money. I'll be happy with that. But needless to say, it's only a good thing that like this is a good thing. This is
It's this good thing.
we needed, like Deadpool alluded to. We've been on a kind of a down. Disney's been on this whole multiverse thing has been kind of a miss. We need this.
Hey, I'll tell you this: if the rumors I'm hearing is true,
Mhm.
we're in phase 5 right now, so we're about to go into phase 6.
Right.
Phase 6 is going to be on a upward climb, and when phase 6 is done, we're about to go into a new era for the MCU
The mutant
with
era.
a little bit of a schnickety schnick, and hopefully it's a new era with the X-Men and what's to be basically like a soft reset, almost a hard reset.
I mean, so they've already kind of come out and said, like, so we had the Infinity Saga. That was the first
Right.
3 phases of the MCU.
Yeah.
We have been in the multiverse saga, which I like that there was a lot of gags to, like, oh no, we're ending the multiverse, like that's over. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
from a movie standpoint, he's saying we're gonna end the multiverse, but on a very like fourth wall break, it's like, no, this was a miss. We're gonna stop with the multiverse stuff. But Feige even said he considers Deadpool and Wolverine the end of the multiverse saga and the beginning of the mutant saga, which makes sense because of how many mutants were in the movie and how it's in the MCU now. So we are very much moving forward, but it's interesting because our phases previously in phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3 were kind of all predicated on like an Avengers movie ended the phase, right? And then we shifted into this second saga, and we haven't really had an Avengers movie since Endgame.
The event, that's like in the trailer for Captain America 4, because I don't know what the Captain America,
Brave New
whatever the
World.
title is anymore. Huh?
Brave New World is the title.
Okay. But Harrison Ford said to Cap Falcon, like, I want you to start up the Avengers again, basically. And so let's see what happens next. I'll be honest with you. I may be in the minority, but I want to see this movie.
The Brave New World.
I like
Captain America.
Sam Wilson.
I like Sam Wilson. I like Anthony Mackie as an actor.
I want to see this movie.
I like the MCU. I like Harrison Ford. I mean, I think he should have stopped acting like 40 years ago, but I like Harrison Ford.
No, maybe 10 years ago, but
20.
Anyways.
But here's the thing. I, as the pop culture warrior, am biased because I love this stuff, and I've always loved Marvel movies and superhero movies and all this stuff.
Yes.
But I've also seen enough background stuff, and
Right.
like the writing's on the wall with a lot of these things. And if I'm being honest,
Yes, I
I
know.
think my track record has been very good on my predictions, not as far as like, oh, where the movie's going to go, but what's going to be good and what's not going to be good. Now, I want more than anything for
Yes.
that movie to be good. I really want it to be good. I want the DC movies to be good, honestly. All the signs that I'm seeing, and it's like
I know.
judging the stock market, right? Like you, like I've,
I know.
you have years in, and like I can see when good things are happening, I can see when bad things are happening, but you can still be wrong. Like you see these guys were like, you see it's a spindle handle, and so the next thing is going to be an up, and then it like goes even deeper down, and it's like, oh, we didn't see that coming. So while I want it to be good, I do think the warning signs are there that it's not going to be good.
Releasing in February.
There's that. I mean, there's the reshoots. There's
God.
the fact that they're not showing any real marketing for this or any, like, they're not really hyping this up. There's the fact, I mean, there's the rumors of the test screenings doing badly. There's the fact that
God.
they added a new villain, Giancarlo Esposito, at the last possible second. That's never a good sign when you need to add more to a movie.
Yeah.
But all that to say, we could be wrong. It could be sleeper hit and awesome. Now, Thunderbolts, believe it or not, I think is going to be a good movie. I think Thunderbolts is going to be a really good movie. And that one I'm really hoping for to be a good movie.
I'll be honest with you. I want both of those movies to be good.
Sure.
God, I might be in the minority, but I liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I thought it was a good show.
I thought for what they had and what they versus what they accomplished, because also that was a show that was marred with COVID. Like they were like a week into shooting and COVID shut everything down.
Yeah.
So like that's always a really, for what they were able to do with what they had to deal with, I thought it was good. Let's put it that way.
Right.
For what they had and what
I
they had to
like
deal
that
with,
show.
I thought it was good.
That was one of my favorite shows. I like that more than
Loki.
WandaVision.
I feel Loki was the best of all the
Loki's on a different level.
just
I love Loki.
from show's perspective. I believe it. Hawkeye. I really liked Hawkeye. A lot of people kind of slammed it. I thought it was pretty good.
But we're talking about, like, in my mind, I'm talking about like 3 different levels of shows. Like Falcon and Winter Soldier was on a different level, Loki was on a different level, and then Hawkeye. And the rumors that Jeremy Renner is coming back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I liked Hawkeye. There was nothing wrong. Well, damn it, I always pronounce her like that. Black Widow 2. What's her name?
Yelena Belova, or the actress or the character?
The actress. I'm sorry.
Oh, Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh. I love her. So, what's the movie she did? Summer. Dang it, I'm an asshat.
Billy says Angry Elf secretly loves Acolyte. that one's just for you.
Coming to your house tomorrow, and I'm beating your ass. Acolyte. I haven't watched a goddamn freaking second of that show.
Yeah, there was like one. There was like 1 or 2 scenes I really liked in Acolyte. The rest of it, meh. But
Did you watch it?
I watched it. Yeah, I watched it. I watch everything.
Yeah, you're the pop culture warrior.
I watch everything.
Anyways, Summer. God dang it.
Yeah,
Man,
I know what you're talking about. Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yes, I'm listening.
I think Thunderbolts is going to be good. I
hope so.
Hope Brave New World's going to be good. But I am ready. Fantastic Four. Let's just talk about for a second. Did you see the trailer?
I watched a breakdown. I cannot find the trailer
It's
online.
very hard to because of it was
Midsummer.
leaked and whatnot.
Midsummer is the movie I'm talking
Yeah,
about. Anyways, the Fantastic Four. No, I haven't seen it, but I watched a
it
breakdown.
it is it's mind-boggling because they show a trailer and it's a good trailer. And then I
Right.
saw an interview with the cast saying, like, oh, yeah, we're excited to start shooting. And I was like, wait a minute, how do they cut together a trailer if they haven't shot anything? And come to find
Yeah.
out, what they had done is they had gotten together for like cast fittings. So they were doing like
Yes.
test stuff, making, seeing like, oh, like this is how the characters look. So for people that don't know, typically when a movie's in pre-production, before it gets starting, they'll have how do you say it? Like they want to visually represent, because they'll have like
Mhm.
artwork that shows like, oh, this is what we think
Right.
the suits will look like, but then they have to have like somebody makes those suits, but then they actually have to test them on and test the fit for the characters, so that way once they start shooting, everything's ready. So what they'll do is they'll take pictures and to see what the people's bodies
Right.
look like and the different colors and different whatevers. So apparently they had gotten together to do just some like chemistry stuff and like, put on some random spacesuits and sit at a kitchen and talk to each other. And they used this kind of random test footage with like a bunch of like AI generated images and cut together what is a fairly coherent, quality trailer that I think for some people are confused and like, oh my God, this is the movie. And I'm like, no, I don't think this is the movie, as in the sense of like, you won't see any of those scenes,
Right.
those
Right.
specific
Right. Right.
scenes in the movie. These were just kind of, this was to give you a feeling of the movie. And that test footage is better than a lot of products that are getting put out nowadays. It has a clear vision. It has a clear style. It has a clear there you can a feeling that you get. You're like, oh, I understand this. I understand what they're
Yeah.
going for. Visually, emotionally, it's stunning. It's really stunning. This kind of retro futuristic. It's like the 60s, but it's so far in the future. It's amazing. It's beautiful.
I forget the artist they reference, but there's an
Kubrick,
artist.
I think it is. No, not Kubrick.
Huh?
Not Kubrick. There's another guy. I know
No.
what you mean. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
But there was an artist that they reference, and I get that. And I'm semi excited for this movie. Pedro Pascal. What I right here, I hope he pulls off Reed Richards. Like
I
when they
do.
initially said, "Hey, Pedro Pascal's gonna be Reed Richards,"
Like,
like, oh my god! But then what I heard, I haven't seen the trailer, but when I heard the breakdown for this trailer, I was like,
it
I
works.
want Mando to be Reed Richards,
I want
and
Mando Daddy to be.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if he can pull this off and it works in this movie, God, this is the win that the MCU needs
Yes.
and leads into the
Yes.
future. And like, there's stuff that I've heard, like, everybody's, I'm in the camp that's like, oh my God damn it, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to be Dope. That's the end of the world. Oh my God. But then I heard who the rumor is that could be the real Doom. And then I'm like, oh, okay. I'm pulling for the MCU now.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from. I do think I do think there's a bit of misinformation out there, or at least just it's all speculation. Let's be honest, it's all speculation until it's announced one way or the other. But I do think when they say Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Doom, I think he's going to be Doom. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to. I know what the rumors are out there. I know that Tony Stark variants and then the other actors playing Doom, and there's variants of the Doom, and I think because you have to understand, Doom comes from Fantastic Four, right? He's
Yes.
not. So it's not Robert, a variant of Tony Stark. Like he is Victor Von Doom. He is. I mean, whether they call it him that or not or whatever, I don't know. I just
Right.
think. I don't know. We have to wait and see. Like that's all we can do is we can.
You have to wait and see. But all I gotta say is, there's a lot of what ifs out there, and rumor has it this month's, or is it next month's? Within the next 2 months, the
D23.
huh?
D23, the Disney convention.
No. So the new Ultimates comics,
Mm.
right? There's an Ultimates comics referencing the new Avengers team, and yada yada yada. I'll dig it out. Maybe if I can dig it out, I'll toss it on the page. But the long and short of it is, there's a new comic book that's about to come out. It's going to basically explain the RDJ variant of Doom.
Mhm.
But the long and short of it is, what I understand is RDJ, he's not coming back to just be Doom, but they're not going to pay him the money to be the villain. Let's put it that way. And so we'll see.
See,
I'm
I heard the opposite. I heard he's getting like $80 million to come back as Doom.
he's not, buddy. I'm telling you, when when we see when Secret Wars the credits roll, he's not going to be the villain, and it's going to be some other guy. And
But well, okay, you mean him as an actor or the character of Doom is not going to be the villain because Secret Wars literally is, the war against Doom, and then that leads into Battle World, which is where it's God Doom.
yes, trust me, I've read it all. I know it all, Mister. I may need to change my name to Marvel Master.
Just
I've read them
call
all.
me Pop Culture Jesus. So yes, and I'll tell you what is it?
Or PJ if you're nasty.
Or PJ if you're nasty. Today's August 6th. August 9 through 11 is D23, which D23 being Disney's own personal
This
Comic-Con.
weekend.
Yes, it's this weekend, and there will be announcements. There's no way that I feel like Marvel and
Yeah, I agree
Disney
with you.
Marvel and Disney made it so that they very selectively they wanted to win San Diego Comic-Con. So they're like, we're going to give you this.
Sure.
The Russos, the projects, RDJ's back. So if that's what they showed there, imagine what they've got lined up in store because they want people talking about D23. That's their whole thing.
Can I give you a preview?
Sure.
You know who's writing the next two movies?
The Russo
CQ
brothers?
and myself. CQ and myself. We're writing the next two movies. This is your exclusive. We've been tapped to write the next two movies.
Thank you. Yes, I see. I wasn't on vacation. I was at the Disney writers retreat, and we were
Yes.
workshopping the next movies. You're
And I
right.
was behind the scenes
You
working
gave it
out
up.
the rest of it.
You gave it up. You gave up all the announcements. I'm gonna figure out how to become press at D23 because I feel like that's. I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna do some digging.
That's where's D23 in Orlando?
Anaheim, California.
Okay. You and I are going to share a bed next year at Anaheim. I'm Big Spoon, you're Little Spoon.
Let's. I don't like the space. You like. We're gonna share a bed next year at Anaheim. I don't like the. It was a strange place to put a pause.
I thought we were on the Deadpool level.
Yeah. Okay. last thing I want to touch on. Last thing I want to touch on, nasty, is some upcoming guests that we've got coming up for the show.
Oh, sure.
You guys are in
Absolutely.
for an absolute treat. I mean, we're booked solid for the next couple weeks, and while not past that are we booked, we have a wait list of like people that are like just waiting for specific dates, meaning realistically we're probably booked to like October, November. So we're going to go on a wild ride. But here is, let me pull up my notes.
Notes always are good.
Notes are always a good thing. Where is that? Where are you? Come back. Oh, there it is. All right. So we had Tasia Valenza tonight. Next week, we've got John Wesley Shipp. He was the original live action The Flash from the 90s. He was also in the reboot of the of the CW's Flash, the Arrowverse Flash, where he played like old Barry Allen, or no, who's Garrett? Wade Garrett? No, Jay Garrett.
No,
Jay Garrick. He played Jay Garrick as one of the Flashes and a bunch of other people, and he played Barry's father. The 20th, I'm waiting on final confirmation. August 20th. So I don't have a person's name yet, but we'll have that soon. August 27, we got Doug Stone. We got this guy. We got, not the duck, but Psycho Mantis. Metal Gear Solid's Psycho Mantis.
Oh, yeah.
Doug Stone is going to be coming on. That guy's awesome. You're going to have a lot of fun with that one. September 3rd is Kelly Schumann, who was one of the main characters in the TV series Superstore. Very funny lady, very comedic actress. So we got her coming on. September 10th will be a no-show because I will be at an event. More on that later. And then from there, let me pull up my other notes. So those are the booked guests. And then some of the guests we're just waiting for final confirmations. So some of the people from MGS console, like Christopher Randolph, Lori Allen, Paul Eating, they're going to be coming on. We currently are waiting on confirmation from Steve Guttenberg. Classic. The Goot, Police Academy, Search Circuit, 3 Men and a Baby. Sam Witwer, we're waiting on final confirmation. Star Wars, Supergirl, Being Human, Walking Dead, a bunch of stuff. Keith David, the president in Rick and Morty. Gargoyle, come on, Gargoyles, classic.
Yes.
Let's see. He was also Spawn, man. I forgot that he did the voice for Spawn.
He was the voice of Spawn. Yes.
Will Wheaton. We're waiting on confirmation.
Shut up, Wesley.
D. Bradley Baker, who's done voices for American Dad, Phineas and Ferb, Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Clone Wars? Are you kidding me? He's He's the voice of every clone in the Clone Wars cartoon.
Tara Platt, who has done Sailor Moon and Naruto. She was also Sony Spider-Man's Mary Jane. She's the voice of Mary Jane in Sony Spider-Man, the video game. And then and a couple more. So lots of really cool stuff. Just some cool things I can share with you, just that we've been working on. Don't forget, this Friday, FTX, tune in. We're going to be playing some fun games, and there's some cool surprises in store for that. I don't have much to announce on that yet, but there's literally 1, 2, 3, 4 big announcements coming. We're just kind of finalizing the details. So coming for FTX. That's pretty cool. I'm very excited for
FTX. Start watching FTX. Put that in your calendar.
Watching FTX Friday nights. starting around 8 p.m. because it's hard. It's a group of people all trying to sit down at the same
He
time.
gets
So it's
down in his back cave. Give him a
it's
break.
we're working it. We're working it. What else? I feel like there was more I was supposed to talk about, and I can't remember. Yeah. Okay. So there's that. There's the games.
You
Yeah.
want to talk about con-ups?
Com-ups? Co-ops?
Co-op. Yeah, co-ops.
Okay.
You were talking about earlier maybe some game codes with co-ops?
Yes. We'll put a pin on that one. And then also we've got New York Comic Con coming up. That's October. So very excited for New York Comic Con. I'm taking a team. I'm taking a full 4-man team, and we are going to do a full 4-day coverage. We are going all in New York Comic Con. We are going to be there all day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I've got a 4-man team because last year we got invited to so much that I was with 3 guys and we had to divide and conquer and still didn't touch everything and get to see everything. So we're making it a 4-man team this year. All of your favorites from here from WTF Nation Radio, myself, Mad Mike, Nemo, and King. And then next year we're definitely doing San Diego Comic Con because that's a whole separate thing, but we'll talk about that later.
San Diego Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
We need to book hotels now.
Working on it. Lastly, let's
Yeah, I know. You're like, oh,
let's
dude.
take a quick peek around the
Yeah,
WTF
yeah.
Nation Radio and show off the shows that we've got here. Starting with Sundays, the Sports Bar, King Coach Sports. It's pretty self-explanatory. A lot of fun. Monday edition with Ice and Massey. That's your news commentary and discussion of all the world events, what's happening around the world. Tuesdays right here with myself and our summer co-host, Angry Elf. But next week, I do believe we'll be getting back Mad Mike, who's been traveling around the world and also has like the flu right now. So he is like, dead in
he's
the
got the
water.
flu.
Yes. Wednesdays, it's the Smoke Pit with Radar and TZ. And then Thursdays, Sergeant's Times with Ice and Spanky. And we've got to update this banner. Friday nights, for now, 1 week on, 1 week off, is FTX. And Friday night tabletop exercise where we play board games. And you guys get to, board games, card games, you get to watch live, participate, and we shoot the shit. And then not listed here, Saturday night, which is weekend co-ops with Nemo, who is playing games with people. So that's co-ops. It's fun. It's games. It's video games. It's a lot of good times. But there you have it. That's everything here at WTF Nation Radio. It is well past my bedtime. So Billy said, CQ looks sleepy. I've been up
CQ
all day.
CQ, can I interrupt for a moment?
Yeah, please.
I just looked up tickets, or at least
Mm-hmm.
hotels for SDCC next year.
Mm-hmm.
I got scared. I saw a hotel room for $575 a night.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Patreon supporters, you must help.
Help me, Patreon. You're my only hope.
Yeah. And you know what the funny part is? I want to go on that trip, and I'm a Patreon supporter, so I'm basically paying myself to pay.
at a reduced rate.
You know what the funny part is? That's with the government support rate. I'm a government contractor.
So I will say,
Yes.
I got to figure it out. But typically when you're have press credentials, there are blocked off rooms that will be at reduced rates. Now, I'm
Okay.
not saying free, and I'm not saying cheap, just reduced rate. You maybe knock off 152 maybe per night. So we'll work that out. We'll work that out. But
I'm going
yes.
to be your butt buddy for next year. We're going to San Diego. We're going to San Diego Comic-Con next year.
Yes. All right.
If
Here's
I
the
have
deal.
to,
Here's the deal.
if I have to be in your duffel bag, I'll do it.
You get to go. You get to be a +1, but you'll have to be in full Deadpool gear the whole time.
God damn right, I will. I'll do it, and I'll learn to dance too. Bye, 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 down, down.
Or we'll do like the little girly influencers do. You'll have to have a different head to toe costume for each day of the convention. So like you'll do a full Ghostbusters, a full Deadpool. What else you got? What else can you full costume display?
I can be Han Solo. I got a Han Solo costume, so I'll be Deadpool, a Ghostbuster, and Han Solo. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
That's pretty
What
good
do I
on
need?
the like franchises too, right? Because that's a Ghostbuster, that's a
Yeah,
Star Wars, that's a Marvel. There you go. I'm gonna need a head to toe Batman suit, full on cowl, full on cape, boots, hockey pads. It's got to be hockey pads.
hey, dude. I'll tell you this much: if I can lose 50 pounds, I've got Batman, I got a Ghostbusters, I got Deadpool, and I've got Star Wars. I can do it. And we're talking about a year.
Put in the
Tomorrow
work.
morning, I'm running 5 miles. I don't care if it kills me.
Well, you don't want
I'm
to
doing
die
it.
because then you're gonna miss out on the convention. But I'm putting together. So I think I'm gonna have a team for New York, and I'm debating. I might have a completely like a B team, and that'll be my San Diego squad. So
See, what do you mean? We're the A team. San Diego Comic Con is the
I
A
mean,
team.
like an alternate is my point. I'll have an East Coast team and a West Coast team. There you go.
All right, I'm leading the West Coast team.
All right. I
I'm
figure.
BA Baraka.
All right, man. Let's see. Sell your stuff. Billy says sell your stuff. Well, I might have to, man, to afford that trip. It might come down to selling some stuff. WTFNR-20. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of this fabulous night. I want to thank my lovely co-host,
Yes, I'll always be here.
my unofficial official backup replacement co-host slash host. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. This was a lot of fun. I have more stuff to give away. I totally forgot. So we'll do it next week. That's the great thing about this show. There's always next week. Congrats to our winners, Jen and Elizabeth. I really do, man, that fucking Casper pop. I'm gonna see if there's something I can because that's cool, man. That's a cool, as a movie guy, I like that. But we'll see.
Wait.
Yes.
How many of those CQ hats do you have?
These CQ hats,
Yeah.
there are 2 left in existence at this point, which I've been
What?
meaning to get new ones because they're getting kind of worn out.
Wait. What if you sign the CQ hat and traded it for that Casper hat?
You think a signed by nobody hat that maybe cost $20 to produce is a fair trade for a Christina Ricci and voice of Casper signed Funko Pop? I mean,
I do.
I appreciate that,
CQ?
but I think you're out of your goddamn mind.
In 10 years, CQ is going to be more popular than Christina Ricci.
Wow.
Mark
Wow.
this episode.
So apparently,
I
see,
think
Christina
CQ is
Ricci's
gonna be
dying in the next 10 years. That's is that
No,
what
I
you're
think
saying?
CQ is going to be on the pulse of pop culture, and he's going to be bigger than anything else.
That's very sweet of you. It's delusional, but very sweet of you. So, hey Charles.
I might
Hey
be
Jen.
delusional
Jen
right
says
at
she
this
can still
moment.
hear us. Hey Jen. We'll talk. We'll talk offline, and maybe I can offer you guys some trades. I've got other stuff that I'd be willing to trade out for it. We'll figure it out.
Stop.
What was that?
A Loki staff.
I'm not get it fits too perfectly in there. Like the Loki staff, the Negan's bat, the Cap shield, like that they it's too perfect there. Also, you can just go buy the staff. It's not that expensive. I think it was like $60. I think I spent on that. It's not that pricey. Anyway, we'll talk later. But all right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Really, wow. Leon says he'll trade his RDJ signed Avengers poster. You crazy. You crazy. She said trade with the Stormtrooper helmet. I mean, we talk. We talk offline. I mean, I could Stormtrooper
on.
helmet. No, you don't. Okay, bye. Is everybody say bye to Angry Elf? Bye. He's gone. Bye. That's mean. Thank you again, guys. You guys are awesome. Lots of fun, and lots more we got coming up. Very, very excited. More giveaways, more interviews, more conventions, more games, lots of stuff. At this point, I'm just rambling. You guys have been the best. I've been Tasia. All right, Angry Elf, why don't you give us the final word here?
All right. Shots.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Shots.